Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Oscar's Cozy Corner, and welcome back to another Disney Dreamlight Valley long play. Today, I'm in Wishblossom Ranch, the brand new DLC from Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I'm up here in Delver Dale, which is one of the new biome areas within that Wishblossom Mountain section. You can see here that there is an adorable little horse looking like it's wearing a bow tie, which I think is very cute. But this little section up here is on its own. It's only connected via one little area down here. So I thought that this could actually be a really fun place for a little Alpine town square. So that's what we're going to do today. It does have this big building looking over it, which actually we don't have anything to do with, unfortunately, during the DLC. But I just thought this little square, even though it's got a little bit of misalignment on it at the top and the bottom, I could see this becoming my new town square for the Wishing Alps. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to create a nice little Alpine area. We're going to put Remy's up here. We're going to put Scrooge's up here. We're going to put my house up here. A couple of those things I do have lurking over there ready to come on in. And we're just going to see where it takes us. I have no other plans for this build other than getting those in and having some sort of square vibe. Probably going to fit in the horse stables as well to have everything self-contained, and then the rest of the biomes can be decorated however I want, but I think that this one will be nice to have everything in one place. So that's what we're going to do first. I'm going to head down and I'm going to grab either Scrooge's or Remy's. I think we'll go with Scrooge's first. I'm just going to find a little home for this just straight away in some sort of square capacity. So I'm going to make sure that those are opposites. Unfortunately, the navigation on this map is really difficult. So when picking stuff up from another biome, you can't just go directly across. You hit a wall. You have to come down and actually follow the path. So I'm going to go ahead and grab everything that I think I'm going to use up here to begin with, so we don't have to run into that issue again. So those are the main elements. That's my house, Scrooge's, Remy's restaurant, and the new stables. So at least we've got those to hand. I'm going to move this well out of the way just a second, put it down in the corner. And then I think maybe I'll just start by getting some pathing down. That's usually the easiest way to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to bring all of this pathing down. And I'm going to make a big square. And actually, for now, I'm going to change this to my favorite path, which is the Main Street path, because I use this almost everywhere. But look at that color match. Immediately, the colors really, really go together. So it is nice when you can use something from the base game in a DLC and it works just how you were hoping. But I'm just going to go through and we're going to put all of this pathing in place. I do have a lot of it, but we shouldn't need any more. I've gained so much of this path over the past couple of years, especially when I've been doing builds in multiple biomes and multiple DLCs. I just keep needing to craft more. So that is why I have so many tiles. But I'm just going to do a nice little square. We're about halfway there. Might be easier if I follow the outline all the way around. That can help make it feel quicker, even if it isn't necessarily quicker. I've been saying it for months, and I still continue to say it. I would love a filling option, so we can draw an outline and then just fill the path. That would be an absolute dream quality of life upgrade for me, but we're nearly there. This probably won't be the final shape, but it'll do for now. We may need to adjust that. There we go. So that's kind of in that spot, I think. So you can bring it all the way over there. I'm just looking at where the biome floor changes to see how much of a square it needs to be, but actually you can still path over this bit even though it changes. So I think that's pretty much centered to the biome, because I am keeping in mind that it juts out here and it juts out there. But to be honest, I think that looks think that looks pretty good. And I might even have the stables back there, and we can maybe leave the grass for the horses in that area. And then I wonder if Scrooge's will fit. Okay, it does fit over there. But actually, since Scrooge's is a little bit thicker than Remy's, Remy's is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to swap their sides. You can really see the size difference in them here. I don't actually know why they're not the same size. I believe the Scrooge store is not this one, but the base game Scrooge store is a replica of Scrooge's from one of the parks, which is cute. So I'm just going to drop my house in by there for now. But that placement might move as well. I can't decide whether to just bring this down a couple more tiles or not. So my concept for this build was to have this kind of like town square area self-contained and enclosed with like a little archway at the front, using all the Alpine buildings around it. And then I know we can't actually do a train station, but given that there is a train over here, and that kind of does look like a train station, I was thinking it could be cute to like put some of the archways in this corner and have a little train track running from one side to the other, just to make it look as though you could arrive up here as well. And then we'll find something to do in this entry area as we progress. So yeah, you kind of come up from this nice little slope into this snowy area. It does have this gorgeous pond on it, which I don't actually know if we can place stuff on. That's worth me checking right now, because that might factor in. So I think I've got some swan boats. I do. And you can place stuff in there. Okay. Well, that might mean that we place some cute little things on there as well. So that gives us an additional design option. I am looking at that. I think we can get away with that. I think that's enough space for maybe one or two of the Alpine buildings. But if I go into my furniture menu and I just search Alpine, the majority of this stuff is under that. So we've got the welcome gate. I actually think I'm just going to place everything down in the corner for now, just so I know what I've got. We've got that little chicken coop, which was in the premium shop. I've got a short corner. I've got a building. I've got the tower. I've got the snowy half arch. And we got the half arch with a fence attached. We've got a little decorative arch. We've got a town arch. A tall corner. There are a lot of pieces in this building kit. And then we have what I believe is this exact building with a water wheel, but there's also no water up here, so it looks a little bit strange, and you can't place it on water either. So I don't think I'm going to use the water wheel one, because I do have that one, so I don't actually need it. And then we've also got this absolutely gigantic windmill, which I do love as well. I'm just going to go into my main menu, scroll down a little bit, and check that I haven't missed anything, because I'm not sure if any of them are not called Alpine. It looks as though they all are, though we do have this decorative horse feeder, which I probably need, and also this trough for some water. But I think that's about it on the Alpine front, without going into sort of internal furniture, stuff like the fireplace. But we can come back out and get the gates and the rocking chairs and all of these lampposts and all of those good things as we progress the build. But for now, it looks as though that will see us through. So I'm going to grab this windmill. I'm just going to try and find a place for it. I do think that the stables can go right in the center. I'm not sure if there's a center point on this. It looks as though there is not. Looks as though that's it. So we've got a dual center point. So it's not one piece of path, it's two. So I'm just going to take that all the way back to right there. Because actually from here, you get a pretty good view of those crystal caverns with the beautiful lights on them. I'm actually going to come out of furniture mode to save this, because it takes a second to save when you put so much path down, and I do not want to lose any of it because I have been having some bugs again where unfortunately it is undoing work as we go along. So it takes a little while to save when you use a lot of pathing, but there we go. Seems like it's saved, and I'll just pick up this so it's not in the way. And that's that very nice view over there of the crystal caverns. I don't think that we can get that centered because we'd have to be all the way over here as our middle point. So as much as I would love to do that, if you think we're here, that would not be a middle point for a town square because we wouldn't be able to come all the way out here. So let's see. I'm going to rotate one of these all the way over here too. And we're going to put that right in. Actually, I'm going to put it right on the corner. So I don't know if that one will fit. It does. And then I think I just bring that one in like that. So we can have one of those on either side with the nice big animated windmills turning. I kind of want Scrooge and Remy's to be centered as well to this path or to this square. I don't actually know if this is a square. It looks like it might be a little bit wider, to be honest. So I think that is more of a square. You can check this yourself if you want to. Like, I like to use these playing card rugs to see. So you can see if I place these down, this is if you're really pedantic about things and you really want to check. You can see that that is actually 5 playing cards that way. Unfortunately, something's going on with the rugs where it selects the path underneath rather than the rug. So I just hit undo instead of trying to delete. And then on this side, you can do exactly the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that actually we're a path short on the width. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring that all the way up. And now we match. So unfortunately, I have to do this to delete those rugs. But that's fine. We can just fill in those spots individually. Just like that. And then we have a perfect square. And I also like that it's snowing up here. I don't know if it snows all the time or if it's meant to be showing us what the rain would look like if it was rain in a different biome, but I think it looks cute. Anyway, I do want to find the center point of this now because this is a square. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. And you can see that it should be there, which actually means this is now off, right? Because we did this 2, but that now has to be 1. So this stable needs to move across. So now it's in line. So that's centered. That is centered. Just like that. What a dream. Perfect. Looks so good. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side for Scrooge's as soon as I get rid of these rugs. But now I have that center point. I can just pull that all the way across like that and then just fill in the gap. That was much easier, right? Moving those crocus out. I do absolutely love crocus. They are the sign of spring for me, which always makes me feel a little bit better after a long and arduous winter. But that's already feeling like a town square. So now we can just kind of fill in, I guess. We can just fill in the gaps with these different buildings from the building kit. So that is the center point for the exit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give myself a little bit of like a stepped path towards that. Look how good this biome floor looks with these buildings. It looked so good. It looks so good. I'm going to move this just up here for now. Don't know where that final resting place will be. Then I do have my house, which unfortunately looks as though it kind of doesn't want to fit in the space that we've got. But what I can do is I can always bring all of this forward to sit on the path. It doesn't really matter. As long as those bricks down there are lined up, that's fine by me. So I need to do the same on this other side now because I brought it in a couple tiles. I believe that's correct. It looks like that's right. They look matching on both sides, so maybe it's even one more. Cool. And then I'm going to grab this house again from the menu. So what I've actually done is, this is my main house, so this is the one you can replace. So this is the one where you get the gable front as default. But then you can, in the biomes, but not on the floating islands, place down a secondary one. So if I scroll down my housing list, you'll see that I've got the snowy Alpine Ranch house, which is not the correct one because this is the deluxe edition one and this is absolutely gigantic. That's not what I wanted, although no, it's too big. I mean, it looks great, but it's too big for this build. So the one I want is the snowy Alpine cottage, which is the one that we got by mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and place this on the other side. And then make sure all of that is out of the way. And then I can just line this up and try and get those as close as possible. Which is not too far away here. But with the rest of the building items, they do clip into each other, which is a dream. So they get really, really close. And I think I'm going to have to bring this down because I want to make sure that it's in line here. We might have a bit of a bigger gap over there, but those footprints need to line up for me because they need to line up going across the front. So we might tweak it a little bit later. We might hide a tree here or something along those lines, but for now, I like how that is looking. I'm just going to move this well just out of the way a little bit. I've also got a crafting table there just in case. But I need to pick an entryway. I feel like if we're going for an enclosed look, this one could work. But I don't know whether to do that one with maybe like this coming off the front of it. Because you can see here, we can actually clip into this item. So that actually feels like another entrance, you know, like a grouped one, which I think looks quite cute. The only thing I don't absolutely love is the repeating of this immediately. These two little columns. Unless we did something with this one, this little solo one. But that actually looks a little bit sad. I do like this one, but not for that application. So let's do that for the time being. And then I guess we can just go in and try and fit these somehow, fit them together, make it look like it's meant to be. So I actually think that these houses were not meant to be a premium shop house. I do think that they were meant to be part of the building kit, but they gave it to us by mistake instead of the deluxe edition house, which is actually pretty accurate for Gameloft. That's why you have the clipping available on this side at the very least. But then Scrooge's store does have a bigger footprint. So yeah, I do think that this was initially meant to be a part of that building kit. Let's do this one. There's no actual plan of what I'm doing here, by the way. This is just me playing around and seeing what I think looks cool. This is kind of like Lego with these building kits, and we can always fill in these little spots if we need to. But I think maybe having one of these feels kind of fun. Sort of like that. Just to give a bit of height right off the bat. And then we can duplicate that and replicate it up here somewhere. Well, that looks a little bit too tall by there. So maybe we just have those right next to the stables. Just roughly placing those around for now. It's a shame we don't have one with the balcony on the other side. Like, just me as a symmetry lover, I would love it reversed. I know that we have the backside of it, but I like this little slope coming down. So I don't know what I can sneak into this little section. I was hoping that I might have been able to fit like a slim. You see, this is actually quite slim. And I think we're only 2 tiles over. Yeah, we are. That's so frustrating. But I don't know if I could bring this down. What if I brought that to the center, actually? And then I could bring this here and that there. Could that work? What did I do with my... What did I do with it? Oh, here it is. Then maybe I could just place one more down there like that. But now I've given myself too much of a gap, so... There we go. Does that feel like a little bit too much? Or does it feel okay? On the inside, I think it looks pretty cool. But I don't know whether to... I could do maybe something like this. If I bring this out, could we fit one of these on? Or does that make it feel really... I don't want the entryway to feel like super tight. And that might feel a little bit narrow, like as an entrance. Like it's not really a welcoming entrance, is it? Walking through this tiny little tunnel. But actually, I don't hate that. But we're also off. Look, we're off center. So that's not a possibility for us right now. Let me just see if one of these works. Does one of these fit? Oh wait, that fits, right? That fits perfectly. Right there. It's only one tile. Okay, there we go. You can't really see that bit in the corner, so I'm not too worried about it. Unless I just went without a corner and we did some sort of house. No, that looks kind of funky. Although, could these small corners work? Again, like I said at the top of the video, I have no rhyme or reason of what I'm doing. Just playing around as we go. Maybe that could sneak in. We're making it very long, though. I'm not sure that is right for this section. Mostly because we've got that big house there. They do go together. But I think this bit needs a home maybe somewhere else. Like somewhere up here. Or maybe we just don't use those pieces because these ones are quite big. They do have a gigantic footprint. So let's get rid of you. I actually think that looks and works pretty well. So let me duplicate it on this side to try and see if it matches. I think that we ended up with it right in the middle, but I can't be 100% certain. Let's do that. We'll pop that in here. I think it needs to come one forward. And we got this nice big one without the water wheel. Then we've got this again here. All right, that has taken us all the way down to the, the entrance. Come on, camera. There we go. What a clever boy. We seem to be one tile off, which is fine. That either means I need to come maybe one tile across on one side, but I can make that work because one tile is negligible. But that feels pretty cool. I also think I'm one tile either back or front, so actually I do think I can go a little bit closer with that one. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Did I go? I went too many. It needed to be 1 and not 2. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There we go. I mean, from the inside, that looks cute. I like that. That's adorable. So then I just need to assess. I'm guessing... Let me take a look. You sit just on the inside of that. You sit just on the inside of that. So it is correct on both sides. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this all across by 1 and just pretend like I haven't and not notice. You can't really tell. You're never going to tell. And then I think I'm going to pull this all the way. I can't decide what to do with this. It almost feels like this deserves to be like out here, you know? It feels like that deserves to be all the way out there. But then I don't know what would be on the middle because these end pieces are a little bit jarring like that. Can't fit that in. Which is a shame. Unless I just went ahead and did it anyway. I do actually kind of like that. But then does this look odd now? Then I feel like that looks odd. So now I'm back to where I'm back to where I was. The two of them doesn't feel right. But I do actually quite like that. So I'm back to, unless I just put it in the middle. I think I'm back to where I was, which is fine. Everything's fine. I just need to move all this across. And then it all... No. 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 I was going to say, could I have it sideways? But that doesn't feel... That doesn't feel elegant. So I think maybe... I think it's these two throwing me off. Unless I just had it like right up against this one. Which actually I don't hate. Let me do that properly. That's fully aligned. Just going to bring that down there. And then I'm just going to bring this all the way across as far as I can get it. Like that. Actually, kind of like that. Even though I keep disappearing under the map. And then maybe on... Nah, it's still not going to be... I was going to say maybe I could use this on this side, but it's still not going to be right because it comes too far down. Although that doesn't look terrible. And then I wonder if I could fit this in any way over here. Oh, look at that. Hey, that looks quite good. I didn't realize that those pieces could like hug each other like that. So what have I sacrificed? I've sacrificed one of these pieces, right? Is that the same size? No, it isn't. I mean, that also kind of works. So if I wanted to, I could use that, but... Actually, I don't mind that either. Which one do I prefer? I'm not sure. This one has more detail on it. So what if I just tried this one on this side? So it's there. And then what, like that? Or like that? There we go. I guess that's how it would look on that side. No, I think this actually looks more like, I don't want to say a fortress because this is meant to be a town square, but you know, looks like a fortress. Looks like a proper wall set. Okay, but now I can't fit it in here. Rude. Oh, I've not rotated it far enough. Let's try that. And let's try this. There we go. Just like that. And can those get any tighter together? Or are we fully... Yeah, we're fully in place for that. And then we're fully in place for that one. And I guess I could just bring that over to the corner. And then it matches on both sides. Okay. That feels good. That feels better. I'm happier with that than I was. And I just can't decide if that should have some sort of frontage on it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we could always go with a kind of an extra entrance. Something sort of like this. Well, I've run out of corner pieces by the look of it. May need to craft some more. But that doesn't feel elegant, right? I don't think that feels all that elegant. Whereas this has a bit more of an interest to it. But I think I might be spending too long on this entrance. So I'm just going to stick with what we had when I said it looked really good. And I'm going to leave it like that for now. Might even inset it a little bit more. Can't really tell if that's halfway through that building or not, but I kind of, yeah, I like that. I like that. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I think that looks good. So this is going to be kind of our town square. And actually what I want to do is I want to pull this out so I can have a separate path in here just for now. Actually, can I grab that bit of ground? I can't, but that's okay. I will just grab a different path. Let's go with the cobblestone path. I'm just going to push that all the way out to delete the other one. I'm just going to bring this all the way across. This is not going to stay. I'm just using this as a reference point for where the center is. And I'm probably going to do exactly the same thing over here, actually. So I'm going to drop that in and just bring that all the way down. And then I just know where I'm working to with the center. So over on this side, we've got more space to kind of fill. And I will bring these nice little house pieces in over here because they are cute. Can't decide which way to use them. That's the nice thing about having this building kit that like works on 4 sides is I actually quite like them this way as well. But I feel like the roofs look a little bit better this side. I'm going to do one there. And then, that doesn't look good. I mean, maybe I could just use 2 of them together. One open window, one closed window. And it looks like one structure. And then out the back, what I'm thinking is, where's those big corner pieces? I think I deleted it, right? I just go back here and I just do Alpine. The short corner piece could kind of come out of the side here. But as you can see, I need to pick up that herb coming out of the ground. I tried to just move the flowers out the way because they don't spawn after a certain amount hits in the biome, but the herbs do keep spawning. So if you get it a little bit wrong, you might just need to keep collecting them. So, very common spec to be eaten by Nala. But I'm just going to pick up this. I think that's like dill or something like that. And then I'm just going to head back over here. It stopped snowing. So yeah, I think the snow is actually meant to represent rain. It's feeling a little bit brighter in here now, but you can see that now I've got this space free. I was about to say, I hope I can fit this in. I think that I might be able to, but it might be a little bit tight. So that's where it needs to go. And I just love the way the roof like clips in and it looks as though it's meant to be clipped in. So much better. That is centered. I believe that is centered. Those are in the correct place. Let's just double check that they're right. This one needs to come forward by one. But then these look then off, which is strange. So actually that needs to go all the way over. Actually, that needs to go all the way over here. If I'm having it where I was. Okay. Well, thanks for that, camera. Let's try that again. Yeah, that looks actually pretty fun. I like the height on that. So it kind of, it mirrors this front section without mirroring it this way. So I've got it mirrored left to right, but I don't also need it mirrored back to front. So it's kind of the same, but also not. And then I guess maybe we can fit this. I guess maybe we could fit this like here. Unless I just do a... I could do a rotation there. And that could go in that spot. All right, I can work with that. And then we'll figure out what to do with this section. So I've lined that up to there. So the base of it kind of lines up, but actually for some reason the base does not. But if I bring it in by one, it looks roughly the same on both sides. I think that's just a window. I wasn't sure if it's meant to be a door or not, but I think I just need to bring this one back by one. Just like that. And then even though you can't really see those buildings, they do at least add the roof. And this is going to be like my stable section, this bit here. So we can leave the grass out here and stuff like that. We can even eat into this if we need to. Like we could even do that and just have the windmills within that section. Although that seems to be off for some reason. Someone's further back. Who is it? It's you. So you need to go forward. I think it's only 2 tiles. No, it was 3. So I got it right the first time. I can just take a chunk of that off. Although that means that those are now not centered anymore, so I'm not going to do that. The horses can have less grass. Nobody call the animal welfare police. Because I'll take them out. Okay, we'll ride, we'll have fun, pet, brush, feed, whatever it is, all those good things. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I'm happy with how this is coming together. And then maybe, I guess on this side, I could maybe use... No, they don't look right. You know, the way it just kind of joins onto that. I was thinking maybe I could block these off. So like I could block the doors off, but this just kind of looks kind of funny the way it attaches to that. I also know what I haven't put down. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I think we've got a water tower. I don't know where that could go. But there's no like base on it, I guess. It's not like a wall looking thing or anything like that. Maybe it could go... No, there's actually absolutely no room behind there. Although there's a little bit of room there. You're just never going to see it. That's a problem for later. For now, I need to finish on getting these gaps sorted. So I don't think that there's a great deal of stuff we can go with. So it's going to be a case of trying to wing it. Can I do this way? Will that be any better? Let me see how that looks up against that. Ah, so close. Like 2 tiles off. Annoying. And it won't even fit in that way, though. Okay. How are we looking if I do it this way? I can fit 2 in, but not a 3rd. These are a bit too big. It's got a bit too much height on that section. I love that I keep looking at this stuff as if something's going to change, as if something else is going to appear. There's no other pieces of furniture, so I just need to play Tetris and actually make this work. But, you know, just in case, we could always take a look again. But no, there's definitely... there's definitely nothing else, so... How am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? I do think I want them this way. Like that. And I guess I could maybe... try something like that, although I don't have any corner pieces left, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to craft some of those and I will be right back. All right, I did manage to pick up a couple more of these, so let's just see if I can Tetris these into place. Oh, that fits. That does actually fit. Amazing. I just needed to rotate it a couple of times, but... Okay, cool. So I wonder if I actually do it like... Oh, I was going to say do it the other way, but that didn't make a difference. I guess you could like kind of do something like that to make it a bit more visually interesting, but I'm not sure that it does much more than just having it kind of like that, to be honest. So let's bring those down. I'm going to bring them to the center. Actually, no, I might even bring them to the back. Just to add a bit of like depth and dimension. But it's like inset a little bit. Can I get any closer on that? No, I can't. I don't like that. I don't know why, I just don't like it. It's not giving what I need it to give. So maybe I try doing something else. No, what are you doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay. I kind of like that, actually. I just don't think there's another way that I can sneak that into place, you know? Unless I did that all the way back there. which I don't hate. It's just something about this specific section that is throwing me off. Because I don't want to have that right next to Scrooge's either. I actually quite like the placement of where that is. But I do think that needs to come like all the way back. Maybe like that? Actually, I could just take it all the way back to the point. But I don't think yeah, I can't. Oh, is it just the water tower though? Is it just the water tower stopping that? Okay, I can get it all the way back but one. Which is fine. So then I can just get rid of that little end tile there. Look at that. That fits. Well, that worked at least. What if I placed one of these in? Kind of like that. And then maybe I could have... It's kind of wild that I haven't used this at all, to be perfectly honest. I thought that I was going to use these because I actually really like these. But let me see what that looks like with this corner piece. Yeah, it's a little bit too far back, right? Well, I guess I could do something like that. But those roof heights don't really match. Like, I know this is a modular building kit, but that's not really... You know, that's not really what it's meant to be used like. One. Two. Then maybe I could... Maybe I just fit one down the back then, if it even fits. It doesn't fit. It does fit. Three? Unless I could do that in the middle then. Wait, that might work. Could this be what I've been waiting for? Kind of like that, and that feels like its own little courtyard in there. I think I might go with that. And even bring these back. No, they can stay forward. What on the footprint changes when I rotate that? It's because it goes from a pretty decent footprint to kind of skew-if, right? So... Just gonna see how this looks a sec. Terrible. You can't really tell from the reverse side. But I think I prefer it with the two windows. Kind of like that. That doesn't, it's still not, that's still not quite working for me. But I'm gonna plow on. I'm gonna move on. So I actually think that's the same width. Although, do I kind of like that building there? Part of me does. I know I didn't like it right next to Scrooge's, but do I like it like that? And then do I just find a home on the outskirts for this? Wait, I think that might be it. Let's see how this looks. Like that? Oh, wait, that might be it. That might be it. All right, let me do exactly the same thing on this side. I just need to make sure that lines up. So let me take my little chunk out there. I think that's right. Looks about right to me. Grab this, rotate it. Sling down, flip it, and reverse it. And then have that there. Give that tile back to those little spots. And then I look like I've got corner to corner going on. Just like that. It's just one in front, so there. Okay, that looks good. We got there. See, sometimes you just got to go with it. You got to trust the process. What will be, all that sort of good stuff. And then I'm actually going to add in... maybe I'll just do it sideways then. Oh, that looks kind of cute. It doesn't look so cute from that side, but... Unless I just try this little house again. Are you going to come and rescue me? You are. Let's go. Bring that in there. Just like that. And then it kind of disappears behind this, which is what I was after. I'm going to do exactly the same thing on this side. I'm going to do one here. And then I'm going to do one here. Okay, we got there. Let's go. We got there, we got there, we got there. Look at that. Much better. Now, if I come out of furniture mode... Now it feels like a nice town square. Look at that. And we've even got those mountains over there in the background. Like I said, we can't line them up perfectly, but that looks centered from here. And then we've got those beautiful like windmills. We got the nice little framing. We've got the most important stores. There is a big gap there, which I will have to address. But other than that, it looks pretty good. The train is following me. Life is good. I wonder if that is small enough. I don't think it is, right? I was going to say, I wonder if that's small enough to sneak in like a little thin piece like that, but it surely is not. That's the only annoying thing about Remy's is look at the size of the footprint compared to Scrooge's. And it has the extra tiles hanging over the edge because of these ledges. So it's just a bit annoying, but I think we can fix that by maybe putting some trees. Like if I delete a spot there and there and be like, this is reserved for tree. Just for tree. No. Not even for trees, just for tree. And then I delete the same spots. Okay, this is going to be... See, the spot over here is this one, and this one, and then this one, and this one, I think. Let me just drag that all the way across. That's right. Okay, cool. So yeah, we can use those little spots. And I'm thinking maybe, because they're quite tall, where are they? Possibly these like ranch trees, because the footprint on these is not huge. Well, that one's a little bit bigger. But just something like that, you know, for the gap. And then it just kind of like disguises it. And we can make it a feature, which is fine. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this back in because it doesn't need to be gappy anymore. And then that's it. We're done. Just kidding. We're not done. I'm going to... What am I going to do? bring in these horse feeders. I'm not even sure where these are going to go. I guess they could kind of fit in. That's a little bit tight. That's a little bit tight. All right, that's TBD. I mean, they've got hay in the stable, so I don't I don't necessarily need to feed them anymore, right? But we'll figure that out. And then I'm going to grab some fencing, and I'm going to go with the snowy rustic fencing, and I'm just going to bring that all the way across this section to separate this off as its own little area. Just like that. And then we could have maybe this cute little archway as the... Will it fit? No! As the entrance to the stables. That's kind of adorable. Like that. I don't like the double, but... That's... Wait, why am I complaining when I can just adjust it? I mean, it is a bit annoying that it doesn't go right up to the edge, but I think it looks fine. This is quite impressive to stand up on its own. On these decorative, like just from a logistical point of view in the real world, these beautiful little decorative elements holding up this big old heavy roof with snow on it, I am impressed. But we might be able to use that, or we could use not this big one, but we could use something like this instead. But I think this is bigger footprint. No, it looks to be the same actually. So we could always end up using that. But then if we go that plus the hay, it's a lot of roofs going on, a lot of archways. So I think for now I'm gonna stick with this cute little one, just like that. I don't know how close you can actually get it. No, I was wondering if you could get them quite close together, but it doesn't seem to be that you can. I wonder how close they go side by side. Ah, what a missed opportunity. So I was just thinking they could have they could have been touching, like they could have clipped together like everything else does, and you could have just used, I think that there's a gate up here. Yeah, like this painted farm gate, but it doesn't quite fit. Because I was thinking, okay, well that could go like right in the center of that. That would be adorable. But actually, I don't know whether I want to use this painted farm gate instead of this log fencing. Unless I alternate them. Oh, look, there's another rustic log gate. That looks kind of cute too. But if I do... Yeah, I wasn't sure whether to alternate it like this, but I think that looks kind of stupid. I think it looks kind of dumb. Does it? It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. It does. I do like it that it has snow on it, so it does look very cute with the snow. I think maybe I'll start working on this centerpiece. Like what's going to go right in the middle of here. But I don't know whether to... I don't know whether to maybe work on some path patterning before that happens or not. Because I just don't know where it's going to sit. Let me see what I can come up with. I just want to, I don't know, I just want to make the path look a little bit more interesting. But I can't decide which way around I want it. Do I want... Well, now I know that's the center. I don't necessarily need that anymore. I don't necessarily need it coming from the entrance, so I could just have it do its own thing. So let me get rid of all that. For now, so that's still all in the center. Maybe I can do something like that. Bringing it out both sides. And then I don't know. I don't know how to make it look a bit more appealing, but all right, let me actually go ahead and grab. I think I'm going to grab the, actually, I want the one with the gate. So I'm going to go back to my furniture. I'm going to find the one with the gate. It's here somewhere. Arch with fence. That's what I'm looking for, not the gate. And then, I don't know, thinking maybe I do like 2 or 3 of these? Running down the center? That'll give me an idea of where they need to go. I think maybe 2. I think 2 is fine. I think 3 is too much. So let's find that middle point, which is there. So I think they can both come in by 1 tile. And that's our center point. And then I was thinking of having... Oh, these buildings are going to be fun to decorate with. I might actually toy with deleting these just while we decorate. They are going to go back in, but I don't want to keep hitting them. So yeah, I think knowing that they're going to go back in is fine. I'm going to delete those for now. And I'm just taking a look at what we've got. I don't know whether this cobblestone path is the right path for this. Don't think, like, I know it's snowy up here, but I think the brick road doesn't quite go color-wise. It doesn't look as good. That looks okay, but I don't think that does. I actually quite like the jagged nature of it. I mean, I guess I don't need... Well, then that... I don't know, that falls like a little bit flat then. I do think it needs something. Let's work with that. I know that there is a nice little... Oh, there we go. There's a rug. So I was thinking maybe I could do like... If I put it right in the center. 1, 2, 3. And they could kind of act like stepping stones. Adds a little bit of color to that central bit. I don't actually kind of want this central section to do anything in particular. I just want it to be there to break up the vastness of the square. We can add a few other bits to do that as well. So I do actually have these rock gardens from a Snow White quest. I don't think that you can do anything else with these at the crafting table. I think once you've crafted the 4, that's your lot. Now I don't know whether to put them around the center or whether to put them elsewhere, but I'll keep them out for now. I've also got this chicken coop, which I thought was pretty cool, but I'm definitely running out of space in here. Like if I unlock these 2 extra stables, I'm gonna need the space for the horses rather than the chickens that I don't own. Although I can put the gooses. Gooses? There must be a plural for goose. I can put the... Oh, geese, of course. I can put the geese in this now. But I haven't assigned anything to this just yet. Anyway, I'm going to keep that in there. As is. Oh, this looks so good. I'm loving how this looks. Maybe I'll jump into... Maybe I'll jump into the landscaping menu and see... Actually, I know. I wish there was a way to filter by DLC. Because we can filter by star path, which is really handy, but I wish there was a way to filter by DLC. So if I scroll down a little bit and look through my Alpine stuff, I do have these rocking chairs. I don't actually think there's a bench. What if we had these like cute little rocking chairs with the blanket on them in this little section, which acts as like a little seating area kind of thing? You see where it juts out a little bit? So yeah, I think maybe having them like that could be cute. I can do that on both sides. 1, 2, just like that. Doesn't that look cute? It looks like Snow White and, well, I was going to say Cruella, but I don't think Cruella is ever going to be catching up here with the laundry girl. But then we could use this little bit to put some trees on. That could be cute. If that's the case, I don't think this should be mud, because then who wants to be walking through mud? So, I mean, the mud actually looks pretty good. The mud actually does look pretty good. Wait, what if I did... What if I brought these out a little bit? And what if I replaced this with some mud to make it look like... To make it kind of look like a flower bed? Can I go back to here? I can. Ooh, okay. Wait, that looks kind of good. I didn't even think about doing that. Okay, okay. Oops. Deleted that bit of path. And then I guess that... Could that be extended out? And then they go just on there? Because we might be able to blend that with... Like, I'm thinking of putting just like a bunch of foliage in there, so I know it looks like it's sticking out a little bit far, but it's not encroaching on that path at all. And they can just sit here and judge anybody who comes out of Scrooge's store. Oh dear. I kind of like that. I could even bring it down like here. Wait, I could even bring it out like that. Ooh, and then it's kind of giving like horseshoe. Surrounding it, yes. All right, let's do that for now. Super cute. And then I'll bring this out down here and here. All right, well, that feels good. I don't even know if I need the... do I need the pebble path? Sure, probably... Probably, maybe. I think it'll look better, right? Yeah, I don't need like a gold path or anything, but that covers up the edges of the rugs a little bit better. All right, that's fun. Yeah, so let's jump into trees and see what small-ish trees we can put in here. I could use the mountain pines, but these do have a really big footprint. So as much as I would like to use those, that might be a little bit too much. We could always go back to these snowy ranch trees that we were talking about earlier. So I could have one on... We could put like one either side. Kind of like that. Remy's is getting in the way, but... Actually, I think 2 is too much, but 1 might be enough just in the middle. Kind of like that. Yeah, okay. And do the same on that side. And then we can bring in some additional stuff. Okay, this pine is going to be too big. Oh my goodness, look at the size of these. Yeah, that's a little bit much on this occasion. Even the leaning one is a little bit much. I'm just going to check what we got with the Plaza bundle, because there was foliage from that as well. So it was these ones. This is a small winter holiday tree. Actually, look at the size of that footprint. That is absolutely tiny. It's just 2 squares. But I think it might dwarf, or it might envelop it a little bit too much. I don't know. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. So that actually can go as a maybe just over there for now. The large one, much too large. The blue, totally out of the question. This is a very warm color palette. But I like the single ones for now. So let's just go back to regular foliage. Regular trees. I would really love to try and use like a Christmas tree style one, but I mean, does kind of fit. I just don't think I'm going to fit anything else in with it, you know? Like, that does look cute. But part of me wants to use, if I come into underbrush, like, I'd like to use, like, this, like, snowy shrub, or this snowy flowering bush. These ones, you know, there's actually a lot of stuff with snow on it, and I also like this one with the wheel. So I need to pick one of these. Unfortunately, with the Storybook Vale version of this bush, which is pink, the footprint is like twice as small. But the footprint for this one is absolutely huge. So it means you can't clip into it like you can with the rest, which is a little bit annoying. But it does fit. It does fit. Like that. It's super big. So I actually think I can just go over here for now. These ones, however, these are really cute. But look how much it encroaches on that. Please, Game Loft, let us turn off the grid. Let me clip this all the way in here. Look how cute that would look, just having it surrounded along the bottom. Please. And thank you. So those are, again, a maybe. I guess we could make this... I guess we can make that work. Kind of like that. Okay, you can't even really tell that this is now like a structured border because I'm just blocking it up. I fit one of these in. Oh, I can fit one of those in right behind, so maybe I'll do that. Let's do one of those on each side. Kind of like that. How far off are you? Okay. That's where that needs to be to line up. Because I want this to be a proper structured border, so it needs to look intentional. Although that one could go there, though, because that looks like it actually fits in that little bit, right? Okay, that's cute. Let's do the same over here. Yeah. And then I guess we could put the flowers here and maybe... Ah, I was hoping it would fit. Yeah, I was hoping that that would like all fit together in there, but it doesn't look like it's going to. Guess I could have that one there. I mean, it looks okay. It doesn't look like terrible. Well, that feels like it has a bigger gap on this side, and I don't know why. Oh, I need to come back one, that's why. I need to see how it looks from the character's point of view, so let me jump out of furniture mode. Let's see how that actually looks. Oh, wait. Actually, from this point of view, it looks kind of cute, right? It does look like a flower bed, and it looks like it's got that little seating section on it. So, actually, yeah, from here, that looks... Oh, that looks adorable. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. I know that it's kind of coming on the path over here a little bit. I guess if I did that, it might... Oh, wait. Actually, does that kind of work too? Yeah, that kind of works too. So, let me bring that out. And then that can go on the corner. Oh, it looks nice. So I'm bringing that out on this side and this side. Too far, but there. Grabbing the shrub, popping it. 1, 2. I just need to see. There we go. And then 1 in the corner. 1 in the corner. Ah, that looks adorable. That's a real centerpiece. That's what I was going for. So I'm happy with that. I do have a bunch of lights. Now, these are from the Star Path. I don't know whether they look a little bit regal to be in here. I mean, they're very cute. They're the Main Street USA lamps. I just don't know if they go. Like, I don't think there's any... I mean, Scrooge's has got a bit of gold plating on it, but there's not really anything else that's gold. So let me show you the other option I had, which was, of course, these snowy Alpine lampposts. And I think I like the purple ones. So there is a snowy version and there's a regular version, and these have a bit more detail on them. So I could actually put that in round about there. So that's the difference. But to be honest, part of me wants to use these Main Street ones. I feel like they do, like in a weird way, they do kind of go, even though the color doesn't match the teal that's on anything. There's part of me that's saying, use them. Use them. So I think even comparing them to those lampposts, I think for the centerpiece at the very least, we could use the Alpine ones in other places, but I think for the centerpiece, these ones look really good. Look at that. That just sets it off, right? I feel like that gives it a nice little bit of structure. Super cute. Love that. I did pick up this equine treadmill from Scrooge's earlier on, but I don't think that... I feel like I would rather just run around with my horses than use that. It looks a little bit mean, so... I think we can start moving on from this central section now, because I think I'm completely done with that. That looks great to me, and I absolutely love it. For some reason, Goofy's train or caravan, whatever it is called, has decided to go into that that section we dropped the tower from, so I don't even know if it's going to move if I put that back in. Not that it matters, but I just find it funny that that train keeps trying to force itself into the funniest of places. I was thinking with these little bits over here, where I was like, oh no, what am I going to do with this entrance? These Christmas trees could go here to block a little bit more of that path, but I don't quite know if they're tall enough, so I'm trying to decide whether to go with that or whether to go with something like these snowy pines. Maybe with some shrubs around the base. But it is kind of bugging me that that goes over that. Do you know what I mean? Although I guess you're not going to see it if it's hidden. So actually it feels like the pine might be the better option because it's slightly taller and we can't actually get this any closer to the buildings, which is rather unfortunate. I need to use these lit up trees somewhere because I absolutely love them. That is just, I could have those up year round. But yeah, I think maybe these there and there. Because then it blocks that gap from a height point of view. I think I could even pull them forward. It doesn't even need to be so close. Like, what if I just bring them... What if I bring them to there? Although I have to think if I want to place something around the base. Let's see. What have we actually got that I could place around the base? And let me see what the option is, because I do also have these trees. So that could be the other option, something like that. But Feels like the pine might be a little bit better. Let me check an underbrush. Now, these are absolutely gigantic, so I don't think it's going to be one of those. It could maybe be the flowering bush. But that, I guess, again, that comes quite far across, right? So it'd have to be there. Actually, don't mind that. I kind of like that the sign clips into that. And then maybe I could have just like a little bit of a fence across the front. Wait, we might be on something. One. And then another one. Ah, what a pain. It's clipping into my house. I think it's hitting my house. Although actually I could bring that across. No. So you can go... Right, you can maybe go there. Something like that. And then, yeah, I don't think that's gonna... That's such a shame. We were so close to being able to have it on both sides. So I think... that's immovable now. That's immovable. Part of me wants to say no. Just redo the grid. Give me what I want. Don't think there's anything else that would work, and I don't want to change the color, so I don't want to go back to like this one because I don't actually think that that is any smaller. I don't know what it works if I bring those trees out by one tile. I don't know if that leaves me a little spot. No, it doesn't. It still gives me... Wait, what if I do... Oh, that fits. Well, that fits. I just might have to have them in a bit of an interesting place on both sides. So did that come across by one more? I think it did. And then I rotate that and I can still fit that in. And then that one goes down the back like that. So I'm hitting 2 tiles on that. And I'm guessing I'm hitting 2 tiles on that. That might be a little bit far out now, actually. Oh, wait. Could that work? I don't know how I got that to work on one side and not the other. So let me assess what's going on. That's clipping on one side and not the bottom. There's one tile over. But then it's lined up on this one, so that's where that is. I'm just gonna delete that and bring that across as is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it seems as though, by the look of it, there's like a little bit of a weird footprint with these. Sometimes, okay, there it is. That's what was throwing me off. So you can see here that it kind of has like the way the snow goes. It's got a double tile on one side sometimes, just from the way it looks, but that works. We got there in the end. Yeah, so that's why it only works in certain rotations. That's what was throwing me off. So I've only got 2 options in that whole number from 12. And I can't even go back on that one, which is funny. But I'm happy with that. I don't mind that it's clipping a little bit there, because I'm going to just see what a fence looks like. Maybe even this, like, snowy rustic one. Okay, I can't fit a fence in at all. The fence would have to be all the way out here, so... I mean, actually, I don't hate that. Because I was worried about taking up too much of the path, but... it's not that big of a deal. I wonder what one of the... what about this classic farm fence? How might that look? Yeah, that feels a little bit too farmy. Especially when we're already using the log one up here on the other side. But I do think it needs something, and it's not an extra shrub. At least I don't think it's an extra shrub. I wonder what it would look like if I did... wait, actually, I don't mind that either. Because that feels like more of an elegant entrance. So maybe I do... I wonder what it would look like if I put the muddy path underneath. It doesn't look dreadful. I could follow that all the way back then, actually. Something like that. It's just that the tree doesn't respect the path, if that makes sense. So the tree still brings in the biome base. Respecting the path. What is that? But it doesn't respect the path because it brings in like snow, as you can see here on one side, and it brings in grass over here. But let me jump out of furniture mode, see what that looks like from... oh my god, Sven was about to get run over. Did you see that? Wait, that does look kind of cute though. Maybe I just need something else. I guess I could just go like that, right? Does it feel like I should have more mud? More mud, please. More mud over here. Let me bring my mud out. Another one. That's very cute. I was hoping that I'd be able to fit those down the side, but I can't just by one tile. That is very unfortunate. But I wonder if... wait, I wonder if these hedges? Oh, these hedges could fit. They actually look quite cute. These are from the gulch, but actually for this use case, I think they work quite well. Just to add a little bit of greenery down the side, so you don't see the muddy footprint so much. I actually quite like that. Unless I just get rid of the mud on both sides and I just have this cute little like floral setup. I do quite like the mud. It's just this little biome showing through that's throwing me off, but I think I can accept it. The snow one doesn't look so bad because it looks as though it's meant to be there. Like the snow is collected around the base, but it's just because this one is green. But I do quite like it. All right, so I wonder if... I'm just looking at any of the other fencing. I don't think anything else really fits this biome. I mean, these possibly do. Can't decide if I like those. Wait, do I like that? It does kind of go. And it would look good if I did it on Scrooge's side as well. Oh, do I like that? Do I like that? I think that I do. And I guess I wouldn't need the floor necessarily if I did it that way. Okay, I actually think I quite like that. Oh, that's so cute. I do. Yeah, let's go with that. And just on the front, it doesn't need to be on the sides. Just on the front works. And actually, I think I've got a little signpost that I could use on both Scrooge's and Remy's sides. So I think it was a code with the showcase. Where is it? The floral signpost. Oh, and then we could have it just like one here and one here. And then I might be able to change that to like a food icon. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I may be able to change that to like a food icon. And then on the other side, I might be able to change it to something that represents Scrooge. Okay. This works. This came together nicely. So I just have to try and remember what I did on the other side for Scrooge. And we have to see if they actually fit with the footprints that we have, because Scrooge's is slightly larger than Remy's. So yes, there's only one way to find out. Let's bring this tree on over. Ooh, look at that. Look how far that needs to be out because of Scrooge's. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's a lot further out. Right? Like, where's that? Because he's got 3 tiles coming out of his window. Whereas I can get all the way up to Remy's by 1. Not ideal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use some pathing to help me work out where this is. So if I do this one here. All right, I know that that's at the base of that. So I can just undo that. And then I know that it's there. I think it's up a tile. Like that. I think that's about as close as I can get. So I do the same on that side. About there. I actually think I can get closer on the left than I can on the right, which is kind of irritating. That's essentially a full tile away from the door, so I may end up needing to move this section forward by 1 to match over here, but we can work with what we've got for now. So I actually think that needs to come forward 1. No, there, that works. Okay. So let's use that as our base, because I can't get any closer on that side. So then what did we have? We had a nice little shrub on the inside. Although I can actually get quite close to those windows here. So 1 there and 1 there. Yeah, again, you can get closer to the left window than you can get to the right, which is odd. We'll do that. Oh, see, they're in line with the tree here, whereas I've got mine set back. So they actually have to come out quite far to be in line. All because I can't get that one any closer. That is wild. So I'm just going to set those back by 2. So they match, and then I've got the ones on the outside, and those are basically butting up, but those are a little bit behind as well. So it kind of creates like a diagonal line in a way. Kind of like that. So the base of it. is actually in line with the base of the front of the tree, just like that. And then I think just like that. On both sides, that looks pretty good. Not as much of an angle here. You can see that they almost line up, like basically the same. I just want to check with a rug just to see where that is. One there, one there. Okay, they look like they are in the right place. And I guess maybe I can just, yeah, I'm just going to bring those ones forward by one. Like that. And then for the floor, I actually need to redo that entirely. So I need to delete that one, I think. That one, and then delete that. Ooh, and then look, there's just random bits of tiles left underneath. But actually, if I move Scrooge just over there for now, and I can get rid of that, I can get rid of that, and then I can bring him back. Right there. Okay. And then what did we have on this side? Did we just have that piece of path taken out completely? So that one gone, that one gone. That one gone. I think that's about right. I could be way off. I could be way off. What I really need to do is to like delete everything. I should have done the path first. That would have made sense. And I should have done it on both sides. That would have made even more sense. Because actually, when I look over here, that doesn't look like it's going to fit in there. So that needs to go. Because I actually think that's squared off. Right, that's correct. There we go. Like that. No. Like that. And then fill that in. Okay, that's right. There we go. That wasn't... Okay, that wasn't too painful in the end. And then I can bring that fence in. Just like that. Cool. So yeah, you can see that that is actually... Like, because I can't go any further back, this little square here is actually much smaller than this square. So I need to adjust the left-hand side to make that feel better. But what that's actually done is I actually quite like that it's done that, because it's made this side over here feel a little bit tighter and a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I'm okay with moving the stuff if I have to, because I can't go back here because I won't be able to fit a fence in there because that is there. And obviously I can't go any further back with that one. Well, I can go one tile back, but so what I need to do is I need to work out how wide that is, which is just over a playing card on both sides. So it's just this one tile to delete, just like that. And I'll do the same thing on this side. So I can place that in there, fill that back in. And then it was just that one tile like that. And then I can bring it all forward to there. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Bring it all forward. Delete that, and delete that. These can come in line with the posts. Maybe even one more. I don't know whether to rotate those or not. Should they be rotated? I feel like rotating them is kind of cute. I guess they could also live inside. No, because you kind of want them to be visible from the street, right? Like... Alright, let's leave it at that for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring How many is this back from that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it hits it on the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's a little bit of tile there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this front bush is going to be roundabout on the halfway mark. And then this back bush is going to be like in line with the front. So there. So half and then in front. I don't know if I can go back any further on each side. I can go back on that side, but I think I might be hitting... Oh, no, I can go back again there. Cool. And then I can just do the same on this side. So this should be lined up roughly to the middle. And then this should be lined up roughly to the front. Okay, and then I might even be able to bring in one more tile back, pathing-wise. Where is my Main Street path? There. I don't know whether I need to get rid of that and maybe center it there. Oh wait, that could work. Like that? Although I kind of liked... No, let me keep that as it is. It looks like it's just kind of like... No, actually it does look like it shouldn't be there. Because it looks like it's falling over the path. Whereas that feels a little bit more intentional. So let me delete those for now. And center them to the path instead. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to delete that one and that one. And that's already centered. I'm going to delete not that one, but that one and that one. And that's already centered. And I'm going to bring that out to each side of his window. Like that. And then do I need to do the same over here? Yeah, I'm going to do it just to keep it neat. Like that. And then I can have that disappear under the hedge. Like that. Cool. And then actually I can move this one out one. And I don't know whether to put... Can't decide whether to put another little bit of fence in, but I think it's only going to end up being 2 posts rather than having any of the actual iron on it. So I was looking... Oh, it might even be 1 post. Yeah, that does not look good. That does not look good. Let me undo that real quick. But I guess I could just have a single post in there. Yeah, I just don't want to have 2 posts. You see, it looks kind of unfortunate. So no, let me go ahead and delete that. Maybe I could even fit... Could I fit a shrub in here? Could I fit the small snowy bush? Wait, I can on one side. Can I fit it on both? No? And I don't know why? Is that one further out? Still no? All right, let me... So that fits, but that is off the corner of that one and off the corner of that. Where is this one? I think this house is 1 further back. I think that's why. I think the house is like 1 back like that. But I don't think it really matters because I've got them both in there. I might even move this. Okay, I can fit that in the corner. So I can fit that one in the corner as well. Oh, there we go. It fit. Did you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it does fit with the snowy bush. I feel like I made life difficult for myself with this by doing it in the wrong order, but actually it's coming together. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yay. That looks so good. And then I can just bring that bit of path in back here and under there. And it looks like an intentional flower bed. Look at that. Okay, great. So now I have to try and... I don't think I... Wait, I don't think I planned this through. I don't think I thought this through because of Scrooge's store. Oh, wait, no, I can fit one there. I think that went there and underneath. I think that that was going there and underneath. So that all looks right. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do one on that side. And I can bring the tree back in as close as I can get it. Tree back in on this side. And then the little flower shrubs. Where do they sit? Over here? Just off the back of the middle. And just in front of the middle. So just off the back on the inside and just off the front on the outside. So maybe that can go back one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. One, two. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Bring those a little closer to the fence. 1, 2. 1, 2. And then I think that can go there. Kind of fits into that space. Just like that. That looks about right to me. Well, I don't know whether it should be going across one. Oh, yeah, it should. Like that. And then was that inside one further back? It was. So the inside one is like centered to that. Of course. There we go. Centered to like that little section. And then the one on the outside is about there. Ah, we got it. We got it in the end. There we go. That looks so good. Ah, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let me bring these little signs, these Alpine signposts. And they can go in the middle of like that final square. Just before the corner. Let's see how that looks from my character's point of view. Oh yeah, that looks so good. Oh look, I've even been shopping myself and got a little basket. Sven did get hit. Hit and run. Although it's not really ran. It's still there. So cute. I just wonder, maybe the last thing that I'm wondering is like, could this fit in this little space? Wait. Do you think we have that? With the little flowers on it? Should we see how that looks? Oh, that just sets it off, right? I feel like that just sets it off. Because then it looks like a little self-contained front garden for those. Yeah, okay. Love that. I think maybe I'm just going to just bring that out by 1 on each side, just so it doesn't feel quite as tight. So it's just got a little bit of an extra lip on it, I guess. And maybe I'll even just bring those down by 2, like that. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. The spacing feels a little bit better. I'll be honest, I don't really know what else to do in the town square. I'm not sure. I feel like these all look really good and this all looks really nice. Maybe I just don't overcomplicate it and I leave the majority of it. I do need to fill this little bit of path in up here on the back. So I'm going to do that just so I don't see that snowy ground underneath. And I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side with the grass. So that looks good. I think maybe I jump into the stable section now. So I'm just going to remove these. Wait, I could just put one of those in each corner just for now. That still looks good. That still looks good. Okay. I mean, I could even... Wait. Do I just go the whole way and have, like... If I delete that... No, if I just delete the end one... So, like, that matches on both sides, right? We got a little lip there and a little lip there. And then what if I bring this all the way across to there? Bring this out? Maybe like that? Actually, let me go down to... Not me getting distracted by my own imagination. But I was thinking maybe I could do something like this and have another... sort of like foliage area at the front here. You see how the path just looks a little bit more interesting now than having that big flat section? I could just put something along here. So let me make a mental note of that. Well, a visual note because I can literally see it. But I should move on to the stables. Unless I just delete this bit of fence and I bring this all the way out to here and have that in there. Have the fence meet on each side. That gives me a little more space inside the actual stable. Actually, that kind of works for me. I quite like that. So I'm just gonna... I'm gonna delete that. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Bring that stable in. Gonna put a little bit of fencing in. So this log one looks kind of dumb because it's just one... Because it's just one piece, but... Extend that, make sure that lines up. Let me move that chicken coop out the way just a sec. And then grab this snowy one, and then we can... Wait, I can place it there. Oh, I can place it there and that gives me extra. Excellent, let me do that. Place it just in front, and then it gives me a little bit more to play with. And actually, maybe I'll just bring that in, and then it's touching the corner. Wow, that was so... That just came together so quickly. Did you see that? And then I'm going to bring this across. I'm not sure if there's a way that I can get that to meet in the middle. See, like it does... I always like playing around to see what I can do with the fences. But that looks kind of dumb. So I'm going to delete that. It's a shame that I can't get that middle section to just fill in. Oh, I can. There we go. 3 evenly spaced sections. So... I don't know how I did that, because if you do it like that, you'll see you get a small little corner bit. So I guess I just deleted those. Brought that one out. Brought that one out. And then... There you go. Easy. Look at that. Look how quickly that came together. That already looks better. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete the path here, because I do not need any of that path anymore. All of this section can just be grass for the horses. Oh, this looks so good. This looks so good. I do want to get some of those troughs in, so let me bring these in. I guess that they could just go right there, right? Like, this seems like a decent enough place for them. Like, I don't want to sneak them in down there because that's not an angle a horse could get in, but it could go against that blank wall on both sides. Don't know how close that is. I think maybe one more. Actually, that lines up with the brick, so let's do that. So then there's water on both sides. Perfect. And then we do have this chicken coop, but I don't think this is going to fit in this space. So what I'm actually thinking is maybe we have like a little chicken coop section outside of the town square. So this is where I'm going to delete these now because I don't need them anymore. But this is where my train station is going to be. And it's going to have the track run like around there. Unless I have this a little bit closer and have the track behind it. Just kind of coming like down here and maybe into the mountain. Actually, yeah, that looks quite good. Right there. Just like that. And then on this side, this is where I could have the chickens. I do need to get rid of some of these dead wish blossoms, but it's coming together. It's not a million miles away from being done, to be honest. But let's jump back into these stables. I do need to fix these up and unlock all four. It'll look so much better when I do that. I'm wondering if there's something I can slip in this little gap. Like, I wonder if there's a little tree or something that I could fit in. Oh, look at that. Easy peasy. So it looks as though that's right in the corner, right? And then I can come out by one and down by one. In the corner, like that. Out by one, down by one. Some extra greenery on both sides. I might even go out one. Yeah, just out another one. Just out another one. Done. A little bit more greenery in there. It would be cool to try and fit some hay. I don't actually know if I have any of the snowy hay. I don't think I've crafted any of that yet, but I do have some regular hay. So I'm going to place that in for now. Just in that spot. I didn't know whether to use these big hay bales. I guess I could put those like in the center, maybe? And then we do have like little hay stacks as well, which maybe could just be dotted around. Something like that. Just to make it feel a little bit more lived in. And we could even have one like just maybe outside of one of the feeders. Yeah, just something like that works. I don't really think there's anything else that like goes in stables, right? This is mostly just like an empty section. I don't know. I'm looking like I don't want a bookshelf or anything, although those do look kind of cute, just decorative wise, but I don't think books outside in the snow is the wisest choice. These feel a little bit too structured for in here. And the color's not quite right, so I don't want to use those. But I guess I could bring a little bit more foliage in, maybe. It would be cool to have the river kit in this section somewhere. I don't even know how. Like, I don't know. You know, I just think it would look pretty cool to have some water. Unless I did... I could do a little pond right in the center. I hadn't thought about that, but let's see what that could be like. So maybe 1, 2. that centered? I think that's just about centered. And then I would need like the tiny pieces. So I'm not sure which is the... That's not it. Ah, there we go. So that's the center. One there. And then I could just use one of these on each side. Fill those little gaps in. And then just use the edging piece to create like a snowy little pond. Does that look good? I don't know. I think it's quite cool. I'd love to be able to select all and move. Don't know how that would work on console, but my keyboard and mouse, it will work a lot better. I mean, that looks kind of cool to me. The other option would be to maybe move this trough out. Because it looks as though you can get that actually quite close. But not close enough for what I was thinking. I didn't know whether to just do something like that. That could have been pretty cool. I don't know how that would work logistically. Like, I'm not sure what that would actually be. But maybe that, yeah, maybe that on each side rather than the center one. And then I can have those hay bales back in the middle. Those multiple hay bales back here. About there. And then bring that over. Sort of like that. Just to make it look a bit more lived in. Cool. I don't think that did anything in particular. I don't really know why I did that, but doesn't it look pretty cool? Functionality? No. Interesting? Yes. Let's do that there, and then I'm going to do another rotation on that side. I think that's about right. All right, I think that horse section might be done. Let's take a look from my character's point of view and see how that actually looks. Yeah. The only annoying thing is that tile comes all the way out to here because it's a square piece, you see? So, like, it's there. So it's actually quite hard to run around, but I'm not going to be in here all that often. Look, Khan's already going into the stable. How adorable. It'd be cute if they actually ate the hay. I don't know if that's quite the right thing for the middle bit. I'm not 100% sold on that yet, but I'm thinking maybe we need a little bit of lighting. So this could be a good chance to use some of these posts, these lampposts. So I think I'm still going to use the snowy ones and the purple ones in here. And I was just thinking maybe just like right in front of this fence, just like that. On the inside. And I guess I could have one on the outside as well. I just didn't know. I was going to say I don't know if that feels like too much, but actually it feels fine. I actually think that looks decent. Unless I just don't need them on the outside. Could I fit those nice little quest items? Ah, what a shame. I was going to see if I could fit those right in there, but I can't. Never mind. Never mind. I'm sure I can fit those. Oh, under the windows looks nice. Got a bit of color. And then I've got 2 more to play with, so I'll just maybe keep those in my back pocket for now. Actually, wait. Is there one more out here? There is. So just underneath that, like, little stable thing. Just like that. Cute. All right, yeah, that absolutely works for me. I actually think yeah, I just realized I put this fence over here in a different place, but I need to bring it, I'm going to bring it forward a little bit. So it needs to come down one, then all the way across. And I need to delete that. Match it in the middle to get the even sized ones, and then just like that. Done. And I guess I'll just delete that end piece of path, because I don't really need it. Just like that. Yeah, that looks so good. That looks so good. That came together super quick. Just toying with whether I need anything else. Actually, I'm going to move that over. There. I may edit this and I may actually put the snowy ones in here eventually, but for now I think that that's the stable section done, which is cool. So then just looking around, I don't think I need anything else running along this particular bit. I don't want to overdo that. I think this looks fine. I don't know if there's any... I mean, this is from the new star path, but I don't really want to use that right now. I like the Alpine stuff. Even though it does kind of feel like there's more than I have. Like, I'm not going to be putting a bed outside or a kitchen or anything like that. I don't even need, like an armchair outside. Looks kind of dumb. Don't need the chicken coop in here. Haven't used the water tower yet. Maybe that's too much for the middle. Like, I don't want it... Yeah, like that feels a little bit unnecessary. I think I prefer the hay bales. I don't even think there's anywhere else I can fit the water tower in this build, but maybe we go without it for now. And I think that's it. Like, I don't think we got a bench or anything, or maybe I haven't got one in Scrooge's yet, so it doesn't really count for me. So there's nothing, like, there's no benches I could put against this or anything like that, but I'm actually fine with... I think I'm fine with leaving it clear. The only thing I could think is if I just did something like that, but unless I put some sort of shrub in. Let me just see how it looks. Have I got anything in foliage that could work? Not really. Because I want to be in keeping, ideally. I mean, some of these discs might suit, but meh. Let me just see. I think that's it for... I mean, they look okay to add a bit of color, a bit of extra color. But maybe just some underbrush instead. Again, these trusty little, like, flower patches. I just absolutely love them. I mean, having those along there do look kind of nice. What if I made it... Well, I could leave the path. What if I mix them in with the shrubs? Actually, if I use a shrub, I will have to get rid of the path. If I could use a shrub and... flower patch? Like, that looks dumb. need to use these trees somewhere. I will find a home for them, I promise. I mean, I guess the foliage helps make it feel a little bit more lived in, a teeny tiny bit. I do have this with the wheel as well. But again, the footprint on this goes huge. Like, it just feels like a little bit too much. And then I do have that one, but again, that is absolutely gigantic. Like, I don't think I would be able to fit anything else in. This one definitely feels bigger than the Storybook Vale one. I'm not actually sure if it is, so I'm gonna check real quick. Where is it? Oh no, it is the same size. But you can see, you can't even see the footprint of this one, whereas this one, the footprint comes out, so you can actually clip really nicely with this one. Which is a shame, but I do actually... Wait, I actually quite like this color. Because there's definitely pinks in it, and actually there's not that many purples going on, so maybe I just stick with... Like, maybe I stick with that. And then maybe these clip onto it each side. Ooh. That doesn't look too bad. I don't even know if it's worth me deleting the path or not. Let me move this Christmas tree out of the way. I need to see it from the character's point of view. Does that feel like too much? Compared to the side that doesn't have anything. Because then you can't actually see the... You can't see the fence anymore, which is what I kind of liked. Right, let me put that one on the back burner. And then I guess that's an option. But let me sit with it. Because I actually think it looks okay, just blank too. Not every single space has to be filled. That's something I always kind of forget myself as well. Like, not every single available space has to be filled in with something, especially when you've got an item limit. Even though I'm not that far up with the item limit, these building kits definitely do help with that. It's not as if we've had to construct them from individual wall pieces or anything. So I think... Maybe I'll just bring that away from the window by one. That away from the window by one. It's just like these areas now. So like this area has the interest of this section. It's got the interest of like this encroaching on it and stuff like that. This bit just then feels like a bit big and a bit bland, I suppose. So I don't know whether to do anything here, but if I move these actually back into position, it might make me feel different because I do think those ledges come in a little bit, just not too much. Actually, that does look okay. That does look okay. I actually think that might... I think that might be good. I think that might be done. I don't know whether to do anything else with the path. This is probably not going to stay, but I just want to see how this looks. I just don't know whether to do anything a bit more visually interesting with the path, but that looks like a bridge you kind of have to cross. Well, actually, I don't know. That feels kind of cool. But I think I prefer the main street path. If I did that, I'd have to move those over, but... Yeah, I think I prefer... Unless I just went all out, just bear with me. Unless I went all out and I just did like 4, kind of like a compass direction, north, south, east, and west. Gotta commit to at least see how it looks, right? As long as I don't come out of furniture mode, I can still undo it all. Wait, I actually kind of like that. That breaks up the monotony of the main street path. Yeah, I think I like that. Even though you can't go out of the sides of this entrance thing, I kind of like how that looks. So I think I'm going to leave that. And then I'm going to place that there and that there. Yeah, that looks good to me. Everything fits. Like, I'm just checking that everything still fits in place, and it does. So I'm happy with... I'm actually happy with that. I'm glad I committed to trying it. The only other thing I haven't really used, which I didn't know whether to find a way to use, was... Well, I've got these beams, which don't really do anything. But don't horses like to scratch against stuff? Like, could I add one of those in? Or does that look... Does that look super stupid? I thought horses like to have beams to like scratch upon, but I could absolutely be making that up. Maybe I'll just add one in the middle of like the feeders. Because why not? Around about there. I don't know what that does, but it looks okay. It fits the vibe. And then I was actually not looking for that. I was looking for... Not the floral signpost, but it must be after this. Oh, see, we do get the equine treadmill, but that's actually more for the gulch, so I don't want to use that here. Oh, I did do some snowy bales. Cool. Let me replace those ones in the middle with the snowy ones. Oh, that looks kind of funny on the base. Why would they do that? Okay, no. I'll bring my other ones back in, thank you. It's actually the fence post is what I'm looking for. But I can't see it. I mean, we do have the rustic log gate, which I've also not used. So I'm just going to get out just in case, but it is... It's the decorative one. But I think maybe I'm... Oh, here it is. Painted farm gate. Like, I feel like that's got a nice amount of color on it. That I could use this somewhere. I just don't know where. Like, that feels... I don't want to mess with this middle section too much because I am really happy with how that ended up looking. Even though it doesn't actually have... Now it's just a square. We did have quite a nice, interesting, detailed path on it, so... Maybe I put these... Maybe I don't use these. I got them out because I was like, well, I've definitely got them, and I haven't used them anywhere yet. They could fit in the middle of that. But I might end up just having shrubs inside of that anyway. Let me come out of furniture mode and make sure that all saves. Because we do have a lot of pathing changes there. Goofy's caravan is really coming after me. And then I'm going to come around this side and I'm going to try and grab that bit of path so I can delete that. Grab that one. And then, yeah, I guess I just use... Would these have fit? Those do fit in there. I guess I could use these pastel ones again because these are trusty. Can I fit two of them in? I think I can. Yeah. Like that. And then actually, no, that path can go under there. I'm fine with that going under there. Because I'll probably bring it out on this side as well. I didn't think about that. So it would be here. Like that. One on the other side. At least that dead bush blossom is not too in the way. Right? And then I can bring this path down. And then we'll do something else outside of here. Maybe we'll use some of the snowy stepping stones or something like that. But need to make sure that path follows all the way through. I don't know. Maybe we can find something to do with these gates eventually. Something like that. That looks terrible. Never doing that. Yeah, I just need to fit in, because I said that I would, some of these. I don't know whether to do them in the corners. I don't know whether to do them in the center of this like area. Because I feel like when you go to see Christmas trees and stuff, they are often in the center of squares, you know? So like maybe I could just have one in each section. Kind of like that. I get, if I really wanted to, I mean, I could bring in like a little bit of Christmas and bring in some of the gifts. Because I do have like single gifts like that. And I mean, this would only really work for Christmas. I don't want to go too Christmassy. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to keep in mind, is I don't want to... That suddenly goes from not even festive. That suddenly goes from like year-round Alpine to Christmas. So I don't know whether to just do... Actually, let me see what it looks like if I just delete that and put that in. I need to see it from the character's view. All of that caravan is in the way. I actually quite like that. I actually quite like how that looks. So let me go ahead and do the same on this side. Could it have something going around it? Maybe, like, could I... Is this too big? Ah, it's a shame there's not like a smaller version. See, it doesn't quite fit together like that. Yeah, like it would be nice if it properly fit. It's actually, that doesn't look too bad. I actually quite like the concept of that, but maybe I need to do it with a different fence. Maybe... these are from the Gulch, and it's a shame that they're so tall. I thought that they were going to be like half that height, which is a little bit disappointing, but let me... Yeah, because I'm going to have to come all the way out here, right? Like, this is a little bit much for a Christmas tree. But if it was like half the height, that could have worked really nicely. Let me delete that. I will conquer you, tree. I promise that. We'll find a way to integrate you. It'd be beautiful if I could have the stone fence, but I do not have that right now. Scrooge is still holding out on me. The marble fence is the shortest fence that we have, and that height in anything else would be great. I would love a height variation of all the fences. I don't think that's ever coming, but... What else have we got here? I think that, like, this is a bit too much. Like, putting a tree behind this much fencing would be... well... I was going to say a bit excessive, but I need to work out where I could actually fit that in. Let me just test it, because why not? So I need to make a big square, essentially. Which is that, but I want the path to fit in it. So I need it to come down by like another tile, ideally. But I don't think that's even going to fit in it, because... Why can I not get this path to line up with this fence? And then it needs to be even bigger anyway? Oh gosh, that's starting to feel like a little bit overwhelming. Let me see it through. So I'll try here. I think we might still be a bit small on the edges. Yeah, still a little bit too tight, so they need to come out by one. And that does fit in there. Let me see how that looks. So that's it without a fence on this side. And then that's it with the fence on this side. I actually do, wait, I do kind of like it with the fence. You'd be coming out of your front door into a fence, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices for things to look nice. But the problem is I need to do it on this side as well. So I actually think that those flower troughs or those rock gardens need to evacuate the dance floor. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use my card trick. So one there, one there. We can see that's the tile that I've deleted. So that's where the square would need to be to match on both sides. Let's delete that. Fit that back in. Oh, I do kind of like it. I can't lie. I do kind of like it. But I think it's that one, that one, that one, and that one. Did you see how quick I did that? Wait, that looks cute. Okay, I'm sold. I don't think that there's any fence that I can actually use for that. I don't know whether maybe putting a little bit of a mud path underneath this would do anything. It does add a little bit of texture to the ground. Like it adds those few little rocks. So actually that feels a little bit better than just being on the floor, at least for me. The other thing I could do is just bring in some of the actual rocks we have in the rock section. Where's my muddy path? Here it is. 3, 4. Do the same thing on every one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely nothing I can do. I don't know if there's any fences out in the list that's not a fence. Sometimes there are. But not on this occasion. A picket fence wouldn't look quite right either. I think I need to cut my losses on that one. But that's fine. The other thing I was thinking was, could I bring in some of the actual snowy rocks in? So like these Frosted Heights rocks, but I can't actually get that close. And then they don't really match the vibe. But I think that looks good. I think anything else will be too cluttered. Let's see how that looks from... Yeah. That's it. I need to know when to stop, and this is a sign telling me to stop with those trees. But it just breaks up that nice monotony of that main street path as much as I do love it. Perfect. Look at that. Amazing. I think we might be nearing the end of the central part. I can bring these back in 2 tiles again now because they don't need to be sticking out so far. Cute. I'm happy with that. That all looks... Oh, doesn't that look good? Okay, let's move on outside. I'm going to do this little train station section. I think I can get... I'll leave one of those out just in case. I do have a crafting table over there if I need it, but I don't think I do. I don't think I'm going to end up using those because they're not white. Why did we not get these white trees? And also there's a lilac version of these that we should be getting as well. Don't know if I've got enough train tracks. If I actually search train, I don't think it's called train track. No, it's actually I'll just search track then. So I've got, oh, it's trolley track. That's right. So I've got 5 of these. I might need to craft a couple more. And then I've got one that like curves. So I was thinking of having the, yeah, I was thinking of having it like come up to maybe like here. And then I could have another curve coming out and then another one going across and then having it run down there. And that was going to be like my little quasi train station. So I'm going to craft a couple more of these, make sure I've got everything else I need, and we will make that. Turns out that there's actually just a curved track, so I didn't need to make the one with the straight section on it either, but let me place that down there, and then I'm going to do... I don't know, is this... I mean, it's whimsical, right? We'll go with that. And then I've got a bunch of these. I don't know if 20 is going to be enough, because they really should be a bit longer than that. Like, it feels like we could have had 2 variations. Or it feels like this could have almost been like maybe a fence or a path. A path would have worked. Out to there. I just wanted the effect of it being like a train station. It's hardly like London Paddington or anything like that, but it's like this is the cute little arrival, I guess. So let's do that. I'm going to try and make this disappear. Like, I don't want it to just look like it's going into a rock, so I'm just going to put a couple of trees around this. I'm thinking probably like these mountain pines, one here. Probably not on the track is a good idea, but one there. The biomes over here are so weird, like where they actually stop. Unless I just bring that up here. And then I bring that across. That might be a little bit easier. Can I fit one more in? No, but I could have here, so let's take the lead on that. Do I need to move all of these across? Ah, okay. Guess we'll do that then. At least then it fits. All the way across, all the way across. Oh my goodness. And then I guess I could fit... Okay, I can fit one more in. So that worked. That worked. Little train station going on. We do have that Tiana trolley. I think it's called the trolley. The streetcar, but does the vibe really okay, I mean, does it matter? I wish I could create my own train, but also I don't think it matters that much, right? Like, I could just place this here and have it joined together like that. I think it's fine. Like, the green's not a million miles away from the teal sort of color, and it does light up at night, which is also cute. So I think I'll just leave that there. It actually doesn't look anywhere near as out of place as I thought that it was going to look. So I'm totally happy with that, actually. Have that there. Maybe that one there. Maybe another little snowy one. What else have we got? Trees. What else can I use? The white ones, they kind of bug me because they're not like fully white. Like they're kind of an off. Like, look at it against the snow. It kind of looks not the same color. And I've not used that anywhere else. So what I am planning on using is some of the landscaping Alpine pieces, which is actually a good shout. So these Wishblossom ones, so like the treescape, I think it's going to be a smidgen too big. I don't know if... I don't actually know if there's going to be any that fit. I didn't think about that. I was hoping to put them all down the backs of here to like add the landscaping in, but look at that. I'm just a couple tiles short on each side, which is not ideal. Even that one, look at the footprint on that. Like, why does it have that huge bit coming out of it. Like, what? Okay. I mean, I guess that kind of fits. But I think that might be the only one. Like, this is going to be way too big with the rocks in it. Actually, if I place them out front, let me just move that for now. And at least get a sense of how big they are, because we've got 5 of them. So 1, 2. That one's like a kind of a square. I don't even think I can fit them over here, so I might have to put them down here. 1, 2. Let me delete these. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. I'm just gonna... Oh no, that's the one we just had out, right? Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna keep that out just in case. But it is that one. Because there was a point where we didn't have these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's huge, which is the last one. That one's huge, which is, I believe, the second one. And then those 3 are slightly smaller. But you see, what I was checking was none of them actually use that white blossom tree, which is definitely a different color. So I'm not going to do that. I do wish we had these white versions of the pine trees, but we'll figure something out. So I'm going to come back up here. Oh yeah, I'm not fitting any of this in. Damn, I'm going to have to do it all myself manually. Okay. That's fine. It just means more items. But that's a job for in a minute. Let me see if I can at least try this one in that gap here. Nope. Maybe if I didn't have those trees. Okay, if I didn't have those trees, I can fit that in there. Okay, that looks good. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I can just pull that mountain pine in here then. But yeah, I need some white trees really. And it's a shame that we don't have any. Maybe I just use... Do you want to fit? I would love you to fit. There. So close. Just one more. There we go. That took a while. Yeah, okay. Because I wanted that aspect to look full down there. I'm happy with that. So for the actual train station, I don't know what flooring to do. I don't know what floor to do under here. Maybe I do like a slate? Because I feel like slate is used around trains quite a lot, right? But then will that look totally out of place with everything else we've done with the main town square? I think it might. So it might have to be... Well, I think it might have to be either cobblestone, which does fit. Or I think I might go to my trusty Main Street path. Because that looks more train station to me. And then we could have... let me put this on the sides. Just in that spot. Like as a little fence. That looks good. I don't think we... Oh, we do have luggage, right? We do have luggage. Let me search for luggage because it came with, I think, one of the star paths. So we've got Cruella's luggage and we've got road trip luggage. Neither of those massively fit, but at least there's a little bit of a color theme going on with that teal. So I think maybe that would work. Although I think any train station should have benches in. So maybe let's go to seating and see if we've got a bench that actually fits this Alpine aesthetic. Not the wooden chair slat. Not even, we can't have a sofa, right? That's not acceptable. I want a wooden bench. That's what I really, really want. Zig zig ah. Maybe it just has to end up being the very basic bench that we get at the very start. You know, like the very first thing that we can craft. That wooden... Wait, this wooden couch kind of works. I don't want to lean too much into couches, but the colors actually look pretty balanced on that. Let me keep going. We do have this birch-shaped bench, but that's too big for our train station. And then we do have these normal benches. But actually, like, even though that's a normal bench, I feel like the colors... Look at that. The color match, because it has cushions on, is a lot better on that one. So I'm going to bring those in. How many of those do I have? I only have 2. Because I was thinking of maybe putting them back to back, like in each section. So I will need to nip to Scrooge's and pick some more of those up at some point. And then we could just have like the luggage next to it to kind of illustrate that somebody's waiting for the train. Wait, that looks kind of cute. All right, that's the idea that I was going for, so I'm happy with that. I think we could also grab some more of these. Maybe we do the snowy white lampposts and have 3 of those. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks so good. Just coming out of the entrance. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then I can fill all of this in with trees again. I don't think there's a single one of those that would fit what I'm going for here. It's way too tight. I mean, that one, if it didn't have such a ridiculous footprint, might not be a million miles away, but that's fine. I can always do like... It's a shame my snowy rocks in the furniture menu don't match up with these snowy rocks, because obviously they are these ones from the Frosted Heights. And look at that, the color's totally different. So it's a shame we didn't get any more of those, because I would use some rocks with snow on here, but never mind. I guess I could use a mixture of just these snowy trees, like one of these, maybe just maybe another light up tree. This one. This pine. Although I think maybe that pine can go behind. Bring in a bit of that color. We do have an icy tree as well, which maybe I could get away with using. It's on the cluster, so it's a little bit much. But what I like about these is that they have height to them. So like if I come down, you can see that they've got raised biome floor. Whereas when you do the trees yourself, you kind of lose that a little bit. So it is a shame, but you can kind of hide the floor with other stuff. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then maybe I just do one more of these over here. And then I can hop into underbrush. And then just wherever I can fit them, dab some of these cute little items. Can I fit another one of those in? What if I do that? Yeah, kind of like that. And then one in the corner there. Yeah, that looks good. And then maybe I just do... I don't know, do I bring you in? Will you fit? You will not fit. No surprises there. So I guess it's going to be one of these bushes again. Which is fine. There we go. Let me see that from the character point of view, just to make sure that it all looks as it should. So if I actually come in here, you can see that's what I wanted it to look like down there, just a bit more visual interest. Lots of stuff going on, makes it look lived in. Perfect, I love that. Maybe I even sneak that down the side. Bring one of these shrubs in. So about there. Sometimes you just have to wing it. Work with what you've got. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. And it looks good from above too. So maybe I can just down this side dot in where I can fit them. Some extra shrubs, some extra trees. These ones are absolutely gigantic, but I think that there's a few other... I don't actually know how many versions there are of each, but like the tall mountain, the names are so wrong. The names are so wrong. Like this is the tall mountain pine, whereas that one is the skinny mountain pine, but it's just even taller, but never mind. And then I think the squat one is actually taller. It is. The squat one's taller than the tall one. So it all makes sense. And then I can add a few more, maybe running down the back of here. Maybe I do a light up one that's visible like between the train. I think that's it. I think I can only fit... How did you fit in? Does the biome change? It does. The biome comes in a little bit. And then I start hitting the other one. That's fine. We can work with the snowy ones instead because they've got slightly more room to play with. I think there's a shorter one. Yeah, that's the shorter one. Put that in. Grab the other pine. Kind of like that, you know, just mixing and matching. Be nice if I could fit one of these in over here. Did I see somewhere that that flicked that it could? It can go there. Don't know if that can squeeze in anywhere. I like to like have them overlapping where I can. I just feel like it adds like a little bit more visual interest. Like that. Cool. Okay. I think that's it for behind the train. That looks great. I love that. And then over on the right, this right-hand side, I need to bring my chicken coop back out. Because this is going to be like our little outdoor farm section that's just outside of the town square. I can't remember how many mining nodes are up here either. I think maybe I've blocked one. Yeah, I've blocked one. But I will accept that. I think it's just... Is it just one? No, there's one there. I think there's only 2 mining nodes up here anyway. Oh no, there's 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. I might still... Okay, I'm definitely not getting to 2 of those. I might need to revisit that if I need them. But I could run down the side and run behind the trees, but... I mean, there's plenty of other biomes to work with. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Okay. Farm section. Annoying that I can't have it symmetrical. But I'll find a way to cope with that. Cope with that. Get it? So I can have them like this. I think that's about right. Looks right to me. So I think maybe we need a fence around this, perhaps. And maybe 3's too many. But that's the fence. Also, I don't always have the well. I didn't even think about that. I probably should have put it in here somewhere, but I guess maybe just kind of have it. Well, do I have any other that look a bit better? I mean, this Neverland one probably fits the best, like just because it's wood. So I guess I could have that maybe round about here. But back to the farm section. I can't decide if 3's too many. Maybe I only need 2. Or maybe I do them diagonal in each corner. 1, 2. Yeah, that looks okay. Because I think 3 looks a little bit cramped. And I want to make sure they've got space to roam. Unless I just did 2 opposite each other? Wait, on either long side? Oh, that could work. That feels a bit better, actually. That might give me a little bit more flexibility. There's water over here. I don't really know what goes in a chicken coop, besties. I am kind of like stumped on that one. Is it just, I feel like it should have floor, right? Like so it should have a path underneath it. So it should probably have either the muddy or the leaf strewn, but I feel like the leaf strewn might be more appropriate. That's as far as I can go with that. Okay. Okay, yeah, that feels more farmland, farm related. I might actually take out the middle. Yeah, wait. Let me delete that. That's touching the back, but that's inset, so I think that matches. I mean, I could always run a fence down there. I kind of like that, actually. And then I might delete this middle section. So I'm going to bring this back, and then I'm going to come out to 2, like that. And then I could maybe, this is where I could use the gate. Because there was a gate, right? And I could just have it ajar, the rustic log gate. And I could have it, like, a little bit open. Oh, wait, that looks cute. Yeah, like that. Maybe I need to take this back a little bit to be able to fit 2 on. Does that fit 2 in? Oh, it does. There we go. Yeah, that's... Oh, look, that's fun. Actually, I could just bring that all the way over then. To there. Yes. Well, if I'm doing that, then why don't I just have the gate in the middle? So that's where that's going to be. So now I need to make this fencing line up. Because you can see I don't want like a teeny tiny bit 2 joining like that. That looks stupid. So I think I might need to have it longer on one side. Oh, wait, no. There we go. Yeah, okay. Bring that across, delete the middle, bring it to the middle, bring it to the middle, and then they join, and then I can open that one. There we go. Little coop. I guess maybe... I was just trying to see if there's like something cute I could do in the middle for them. Oh my gosh, I'm going to put the geese in here, the ones that I've unlocked. So I don't know, maybe some hay? They don't eat hay, right? Do they eat hay? What do geese eat? can also make some snowy ones, so I might need to craft a couple of those. Actually, yeah, I'm going to craft a couple of those and then we'll add some snowy stuff in. All right, so I grabbed some straw stuff. But again, the biome floor shows up through these for some reason. I wish that it didn't. So that's the square version and that's the rectangle version. Kind of annoying, right? I feel like I might end up needing to use the hay maze kit that we got. Because like this feels... Right, this feels better. So I've got hay bales, but I don't think they'll fit down the side. I don't even think chickens eat hay, so I don't know why I'm insistent on adding hay, but let's go. I'm just going to do like one here, maybe one here, then a smaller version. Yeah, I think there's a single cube, so like one. And then on this side, maybe I could do maybe like that brick. That looks terrible. What am I doing? What if I switch straw instead? Do I have anything for straw? Oh, it's just the snowy ones. It's just the snowy ones. It's weird that the normal ones don't have an issue, though. I'm kind of curious. Are they the same as the hay maze kit? Because these are craftable in Wishblossom Ranch. Oh, it is. It's just identical. They just reused the asset. How interesting. So we paid moonstones for these ones. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look great. So I think maybe I'm out of these other ones, or I'm out of these straw ones and stuff like that, but I want to focus on just this middle bit. I just want to put something cute in there, just like foliage-wise. Maybe it's the time to use this big shrub. But it doesn't really match. These look like so much more. But what I could do is I could bring some of the crocus in, because these are going to spawn anyway, right? So I usually move them out of the way. And I don't know how many spawn at one time in this section at least. But if I do this, it stops them respawning. So actually, I could just put these in the middle. Let me just have a quick scoot around, see if any more have spawned. If not, I can grab some from elsewhere in the biome. I don't think so. So this might be like a maximum of 4 spawning at once, but I can go down here and I can find some more. Maybe? Where are my crocus? All right, there's a pink one. So I'm going to do... Oh, there's 4? That's annoying. I didn't know what colors... So I guess it's one of each color that spawns. That would make sense. So I'm going to have to keep one of each color. Now, how do I do that? Yeah, I could go pink and purple again on each side. It's pink on that side, purple on that side. Something... Unless I did something like that. Oh, wait, that looks nice. All right, so I'm going to do that. Now maybe just a white on each side. Oh, no, maybe they're white. Okay, yeah. Not me getting excited. I'm going to do white on each side because, look, I have 4 whites here. So I can grab those. And one more following the path. And then I see a purple that I can use as well. Maybe geese eat flowers. Maybe that's what this is all about. Purple. Down on this side. And then a yellow in the middle. And I think that will look good. So I just need to go and find a yellow one. Of which I'm sure there is one lurking somewhere. There's only white up here. None over on this bit. Come on, there must be a yellow crocus around. I see it. There it is. Let's grab you. Let's head all the way back over this way. Haha. There we go. That looks adorable. Just a bit of interest for our for our geese. And then I could put maybe, I think I've got another trough. I don't even think they'd be able to reach this, but for the sake of it looking nice, I'm going to put a trough there. Then an autumnal leaf pile is not enough. But I was thinking maybe a little shrub, pastel shrub bush in the corners. In each corner, yes. Like that. And then maybe that's where I bring in some of the hay. Which is not an underbrush, but it is here. And I could just have like, doesn't need to be a wall, but it could just be a low brick. Do I have it angled? No, I think just against the wall is fine. Cute. And I don't know if I can have it there. Oh, I can. Is that in line? It is in line. Oh, it's like it was meant to be. Look at that. There we go. Perfect. And I was just thinking. I don't have any... Do I have these left? I do have 8 of these left. I kind of want to stop that Goofy's Caravan thing coming up here all the time. I wonder if I could just put this in the way. Do you think that would work? Do you think that would actually work to block it? Because I can jump over this on horseback anyway. So I could have like one... I could just have... Yeah, I could just have it like in the middle. Because I think it would get past that. But would it get past 2? Would it get past 2? I don't know. that could be the solution. All right, that looks adorable now. Doesn't that look cute? It is bugging me that it comes to like just over the edge of this and just on the inside of this, but I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. We got a little train station over there. We do have the well, so I'm gonna leave the well here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to paths. I'm gonna grab probably this snowy stone path. And just try and start to create, I don't know how many of these, okay, I've got a bunch of these. Try and create some sort of entry path to this area. It's like here, here. Don't know if I can fit 3 in. I'm gonna like, maybe there, because I want it to go both sides. That's the only thing. That doesn't look a million miles away. Like that, and then it's really just a guessing game of where to drop them in. Something like that. I guess I could have one right there at the entrance. Another one maybe there. Kind of like that. Maybe I need 3 wide. I can get one under that too. And I think maybe just one more. Aha, there, one more in that little gap. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. And then I just need to make sure that they fit coming down to this other side as well. One there. It's quite a wide path, but I'm fine with that. And then I guess moving these up a little bit towards each other. Must be a place I can fit you somewhere. Maybe you need to come down by one. Aha! I saw it. One there. I'll do another one pretty close. Okay. Yeah. Is it absolutely perfect? No, but does it work for what I'm trying to go for? Yes. Just one away. No, I'm two away there. That's a pain. I've just got a little bit of a gap there and it's bugging me. Could I fit one in that middle bit there? Is it going to let me? Oh, it will. That was surprising. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so I guess I could rotate that round to about here. And then I'm kind of like off on that last one in the middle, right? So maybe I do need to do something like that. I mean, that fits. Gonna bring that back by one. It's sort of kind of there, but just not quite. It's like it needs one more, and I just can't find. I mean, I guess that. All right, that's fine. I'm happy with that. I wonder if I overlay. It's a shame we can't like lay them on top of each other, but I wonder if there's anything else I can overlay. Like, not the cobblestone path. That clearly doesn't work. Rocky terrain doesn't work. Maybe the stones. So if I come to rocks, I might be able to squeeze in. Okay, the stone clusters do fit. I just don't know if there's one that actually fits the tone. Sunlit Plateau is way too orange. The meadow might be the closest. Plaza looks okay. Actually, let me put them down and see what they look like against each other. I actually think the plaza and the meadow are basically the same. This one's a little bit warmer. So maybe I could just dot a few of these around. Go like this. Just to also fill in that floor space. I don't like that. I hate that. Oh my goodness. Get rid of that immediately. Get rid of that immediately. I also don't love this, if I'm being absolutely honest. So I think maybe I need to come up with something else on that front. I think maybe some path might work. Maybe I just bring in that cobblestone path. And just try and bring it out myself. Like this. I think this might actually be the best choice. And then have it like that. And And then I can still have those little stones on top of it with the snow. Okay. Doesn't look a million miles away. Let's place a little bit more of that down. Let's do the split there. And we can come down that side. And maybe have it join at that point. Yeah, I didn't think about that, because then I could maybe have something down the middle. I could maybe use those... Maybe I could use a bit of a fence or something down the middle. Ah, look at that. What a pain. It's not in the center. And actually, none of that is now that I've done those paths. Okay, that one is, but I need to move all this over by one. One. Okay. One. 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 That still fits. Okay, good. And then that needs to come over by one. All right, yeah, there we go. That looks more aligned. And then I could have something running down the middle, probably some shrubs. I mean, I could even put a hedge in or something like that. And then for the rest of this, I might just have... I don't think I'm going to have anything over here, to be perfectly honest. I'm just going to leave this bit as is. Because we're nearly there with all of this, and then I just got to do some decoration around the edge. Let me finish off this path while I'm at it. So like that. And then one down here. That looks good. And then I can fill in all of these ones. Because there's nothing like getting off the train and immediately stepping into snow. Which is what I did once in Iceland, but it was a plane. And I just got off the plane and we were walking down the street and I tried to cross the road into what I thought was a safe bit of ground to step on, but it was not safe. And it was about 3 deep full of snow and it went right up to my knee and I was soaking and freezing. So that was depressing, but at least there's not too deep snow here. Just looking at these, I'm just looking at this and seeing if I can actually line up the pattern. So I think it's that one, and I think it's that one. Like that. That looks about right. I wonder what it looks like if I changed it to diagonal here. Now, I still kind of like it like almost higgledy-piggledy in a way. So it like comes out and then down. Maybe I can delete that. That looks good. That one can go. I think then... Yeah, that's about right. I wanted like a nice little curve to it in a way like that. And that does look like it has that now. Although maybe the curve should have gone the other way, like around, but path of least resistance and all that. But I can have some foliage here. Actually, I might be able to fit one of those foliage things in. Maybe even one of the bigger ones. Do I actually have the space? I do have the space. Look at that. Would you look at that? I can have that right there. That might be too big. Oh, but I can fit it and push it back a little bit. Because I just want to make sure I'm still able to get past that, obviously, to run into here. Hey, that looks good. So I'm just going to tidy up some of these now. Maybe I don't need quite so many. I'm just going to go ahead and delete all the work that we did. What about... Let me get rid of you. Duplicate that here. Have another one like... Right about there. Maybe another one. Maybe in... that bit? What are you hitting? One there? Okay. Let me get rid of that. There we go. And I can have one facing the other way. Or I just have one coming up from the bottom. Like that. One here. Yeah, this feels a little bit better. It feels less overwhelming. And then finally fit one there. And I'm going to do a full rotation on that. To there. And then hopefully I can sneak one in by there. I don't think I can fit a final one in with that one here. So I might actually need to just go ahead and do that. Great. Okay. Fantastic. That looks better. Well, in that case, do I just bring these through into this little bit? Like just have them on the path? Maybe not as close together. But something like that could be cute. And then one on each side. Just in the middle, just to bring a little bit more of the snow through. Actually, I'm going to have it run underneath. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to have it run underneath Scrooge's store, but I can't, so that's fine. I'll just place it there and there. Like that. And then one more over here. And I thought that I was going to be able to sneak one in, but maybe if I go back a little bit on that, I will. Is it just one tile? There we go. All right, great. That looks good. I'm happy with that. Don't love this well here, but it is what it is. It's the best one that I have for this setup. Let me grab some of these snowy trees. See if I can fit these in. Dotted around. That's the tall one. I know there's a squat version, which is a little bit shorter. Pop that in. Very cute. I wonder... I don't think furniture-wise there's anything else I want to use other than foliage right now for this outside decorating section. So I'm going to focus on that. I'm going to bring in... Yeah, can't do any fencing there, which is a pain, but that's fine. I wonder if I do a little bit of fencing. Oh, is that as close as I can get it because of the tree? Just to feed people into this one specific bit, but like... Do I do it there or there? Because then it kind of matches the inside. Yeah, I'm going to do it on the outside of that. Like there. Just like that. And I'm going to save this because it's lagging a little bit. So let's save that. So I've put a lot of pathing down. And it might need a sec. There we go. So hopefully I can jump back into furniture mode now. Was a little bit slow, but hopefully it's surviving. And maybe I just bring... Maybe I just bring a hint of that fence back in again to there. But then I'm going to block... I'm going to block my well if I do that. So I think maybe I just leave that and just use the fencing on both of those sides. I do want to put something down this central bit, and I don't know what I want to actually use. Maybe I could bring in... I don't think there's anything small enough. Maybe just these bushes, I guess. Like that. And then could I have... I mean, I guess I could go with my trusty little Alpine in there. These are a little bit too big and a little bit too stylized for this bit. And there's nothing really very thin. Like, these are all a little bit too big. It's a bit too intense. And there's no way that I can put that gigantic flower bush, because that's going to take up the whole path. Actually, it doesn't take up too much of the path, to be honest. But I'm still just not loving the color of that, even though it's on these shrubs now. So we will find something else to go in here. I think that these gates, even if I made another one... Actually, no, they are two. Wait, they are two. So if I craft another one of those gates... I need to go to Scrooge still to get some more of those sofas anyway. But actually, if I come all the way up here... So if I go out to there, I can move this gate here. So I can craft another one of those when I... visit Scrooge. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. I just wanted something to break that up. And we've got the foliage over here, so I could probably drop in maybe another one of these cute little light up trees. Maybe a pine out the back here. Another really tall one if that fits, which it does, surprisingly, in that little bit. And then shrubs and whatnot in that spare section. I think that'll fit, but maybe this one will. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. Cool. Happy with that. That looks good. I don't even know if I could get away with having a big tree like on the path. Like maybe somewhere around... Like actually, if I move that back a little bit to there, could I sneak that in? Will it fit? Oh, it will fit. Okay. I don't know whether to rotate that. No, okay. But see, I've pushed it too far back, I think. So I'm actually going to undo that. Maybe I can just bring this closer then. What are you hitting? This tree here? There? Okay, yeah, there we go. That looks good. I'm happy with that. Very cute. And then I think I should still be able to run past that. So I just won't put anything in that little spot. But I'm mostly fast traveling anyway, so I don't always run up here, you know? Like, so maybe I could just get away with like a little shrub on either side. Actually, I think it needs to be a bit more impressive than a shrub. So maybe just these snowy bushes. Wait, that's exactly the same thing. Where's the snowy flower one? That's what I'm looking for. Wait, no, that's the same thing again. Where's my snowy flower bush? Underbrush. Snowy flower bush. There we go. One of those each side. Kind of like that. I might actually come out a little bit so you still get a little glimpse at the woodwork on there. Don't know whether to do that. No, I like it how it was. And maybe I can just duplicate this over on this side. Little pastel flower bush next to it. Another one in here. I don't think I can put anything down the back of the well, which is fine. Actually, I'm not sure if I can have anything over there, but that works. Kind of like that. Cool. And then maybe just a little tree snuck in. I will have to see if my character can run past this. I don't know if I will be able to. But if I can't, I can just amend it anyway. And then I'm just gonna leave this bit empty, I think, and have that as just like the chicken coop. Unless I just bring in... Don't know if that'll fit. Oh, it does just fit. It does just fit. One of these. And then I'll just fast travel up here anyway. Okay, wait, that looks kind of good. So maybe I need to get rid of that little dead wish blossom. And then see what I've got left to do. I guess that maybe I should be... I guess that maybe I should be having a path out of this coop to join up with the other path. Part of me doesn't want to, but part of me says that I should. So actually, I'm just going to see how that looks. I'm going to just remove that one for now. I'm just going to try bringing off some of this and just seeing if I can just gently get it to where I want it to go. So about there. Kind of like that. And then I can have it coming down. Down sort of like that. And I think that still works. Yeah, that still works. I'm just going to open the gate a little bit wider. Like that. Aha. All right. I might need to change the size of the one that we used, but let's see if we can fit. Can you fit? See, you feel like you would be able to fit right in that spot. I don't know what you're hitting. Okay, there. Okay, that worked pretty well. Although I feel like that one would be better. So is it you? Is it this little Christmas tree? It was that tree. I'm going to move it out of the way completely for now. Because I do think... maybe... something like this. Because that's actually quite structural. It's quite interesting. And then I should still be able to fit that little tree in here somewhere. There we go. Just like that. And I can bring some of the big snowy trees, maybe, just maybe, into this bit as well. This tall one might be a little bit too tall. Actually, I think the small one might be more fitting into that little gap just there. I can bring that across, bring this flower patch back in. Don't think it'll fit right there. But that works. I guess I could do that. There's not one rotation on that quite fits with it, but that's fine. I think this will fit somewhere at the back. Right there. Cool. Happy with that on that side. And then we've got this little rock just encroaching on the path a little bit there, but that's fine. And then maybe one more of these light up trees, hopefully. Yes, in that space, just like that. Maybe a pastel flower bush coming over here, just on the edge of that path. Oh yeah, that feels better. I'm glad that I did that. It needed that. So I'm actually going to go ahead and place... I don't think these ones will fit. I think this is too big. Yeah, because this is absolutely gigantic. But if I go back to the furniture menu and we go back to trees... I think that's the one we might have used. No, that's a slightly different one. I was wondering, there is that one that's kind of a funny shape. This one. I thought that this might be able to... Ah, it does. That does fit. Exactly where I was hoping it to fit as well. So I could fit maybe one of those in there. And I wonder if I could fit a second in. Not quite. But I could move that down. We could rotate this around. Where are you hitting? Maybe I should just start with this side then. It hits the edge of the biome just over there. That does kind of fit. It does kind of fit by there. So I wonder if I could fit another one in anywhere over here. This crafting table might be in the way. And this might be in the way. But I think because the footprint is so awkward. Yeah, there's not a lot to work with by there. But I could bring in this one, or the one with the lights on it, with some more white trees. No, that's too big too. And so is that. Okay, well, that answers that. I can have one there, and I'll just fill in the rest of the space with my own trees. So we'll just do a big one here, maybe there, maybe another one slightly further down. Grab some of the snowy trees for effect. There and there. There, and I think actually maybe some of the smaller pines as well, just for some height differentiation. Oh, I like that I can fit one just in this little gap actually, all the way over to there. That's cool. And then I guess we can just fill in the rest of the space with some ground level foliage. You can go there. Cool, on that side, that's done. Maybe we do one of the smaller ones just out the back. There we go, look at that. That looks so good. And then I don't know if I can squeeze one of these in. Can you fit anywhere? You look at that weird base on it. It's so strange. So I think I might. I'm 3 tiles off. And that doesn't go any further back, and I don't think that goes any further forward. So that's going to be a no. But I could always bring in one of these icy trees. So that doesn't have as much of a footprint. And we'll do something like that. Cool, this bit is actually nearly done, which I'm excited about. Actually, all of it's nearly done, which I'm excited about. Oh, this looks so good. This looks so much better than I thought it was going to be. Ah, look at that. Okay. Final hurdle. Come on, Oscar, let's go. Let's grab some of my favorite underbrush trees. Actually, wait, I've got those other trees as well with the smaller footprint that I did not think about. These ones, again, another nice little bit of height differentiation. So let's pop some of these in, dot these around. Maybe one back here. And then I've also got the kind of like the forked version, I suppose. You want to call it that? I don't think there's any space behind. Oh, there is. There's still space behind there. Look at that. One there, one there. Definitely one down here if we can fit it in, which we can, which is a dream. One out the back. Don't think I can squeeze it in there. But I can start planning on putting some over here, because I do just have to fill in this back little space as well. But once we've done that, we will be well on our way. So I'm just going to grab one of these as well to make sure I'm filling in all of the available space. Which is what they love to tell you at Disney. Move down, please. Fill in all the available space. One of these I can see a gap for it. Perfect. And then where's that little solo one? Here you go. I think it's the same footprint, but it's just a slightly different shaped tree. Don't think I can fit it in there. Oh, there's a little gap there. Nice little gap here. From the back as well. Cool. That looks so good. These new foliage items are the best. And I can fit a snowy tree down there as well. Great. And then just on this side, I think all I've got left to do is fit some of the smaller underbrush little bits in. Just to fill in kind of like ground level. So I'm just going to start with these flower bushes. Dot a couple of these about. One in there as well. Don't think there was anywhere else over here. Oh, okay. Can fit in there. And then these pastel. Actually, these snowy tree style shrubs, they're handy because they're a little bit taller. So one there. One there. Just while I'm at it. Do you see a gap down there? Could I fit one in? Yeah. Great. Like that. And then finally, for a bit of color, these pastel ones. There they are. And I like the ones with the snow on them. Right. Can you sneak into a spot? You can. Look at that. I think that might be the only one by there. Another one. Yeah, all of them are a bit too big for this bit, which is a shame. There's nothing that I can sneak in there, but that's okay. I think over here we might be able to get in one of these, possibly. No, a little bit too tight. Oh no, there's one there. And then I think out the front, that might be it. One at the back. Okay, yeah. There we go. Can you go in that spot? You can. Excellent. And I guess finally we've just got this side down here. Now I don't know if I can fit any more of these in. Don't think that I can. Okay, I can fit one in. Don't think I can rotate it all the other way to break it up a little bit because it only seems to fit one way, although I think that would fit there if that dead wish blossom wasn't there, which is a bit of a pain, but that's part and parcel. And then I wonder if there's any space for one of these down here. I'm gonna go ahead and say no, and I'm pretty confident that all the rest are far too large. Oh, that is that one. Wait, was that one? Yeah, I think that was. Yeah, it's just got a slightly different footprint. Yeah, all of these are going to be way too big to fit down this back portion, so it's just going to have to be a case of me kind of winging it, I'm going to say. That's fine. That's what we've been doing this whole video. So I'm just going to dot a couple of these around wherever I can sneak one in. I'm not going to do too much on this side because I don't think you're going to ever really see over here. So I'm not going to go overboard with it. But I do want to make it feel in keeping with the rest. As much as I can. So we'll just give ourselves lots of different size trees. Some of the smaller firs as well. Just like that. Oh, you can't really see behind there, but I guess I know it's there. And then there's the smaller actual snowy trees. I can't remember if I grabbed the tall one or the small one, because they're really not that different. think I grabbed the tall one by the look of it. And it's just kind of like a little alpine forest, I guess, out the back of this town. Shame I can't get any of those in there. All right. And then we've got these smaller ones. These ones, these little forked ones. These do find themselves being able to sneak in where other trees can't. Like that. Maybe one over here. Doing it from bird's eye view helps me sometimes because you can just kind of see the space that you're filling in. And I'm using a lot of items on the item limit. You don't have to use all of these. Like it's not a requirement, but I just think it looks pretty cool. I actually don't think I need any underbrush over here either because you can't see that. You can only see it from kind of this entrance. So maybe I'll just focus, if I do anything, my efforts on this bit over here. And then maybe a little bit further back. Other than that, I don't think I need anything else on this side. I grab those. Where's those single trees gone? Here we go. Just see if there's any space to pop those in. I think I'm actually out of space, to be honest. One at the back. That's pretty much it. Which is fine by me. So let me just go ahead and grab those little flower shrubs from here. Get one of those in if I can, which doesn't look like I can. But actually, I think that's fine. Actually, yeah, I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'm just going to replace it for a slightly bigger one. Just about there. And then maybe I could do the same with that one. And I think we very well might be done. As soon as that. It's always the same. Just as soon as I've done this. Cool. I think that's it. The whole biome, which is actually quite small, is now finally decorated. So let me give you a little tour from ground level. All right, so if we start at the train station with this lovely looking train and some very comfortable seating, we can come out towards the actual town square. Foliage on each side, even all that foliage we put down there, you can't massively see it, but I still think it looks nice. It adds depth and dimension. Do have this really great rock structure on the right hand side, which I love, that light up tree. 2 entrances to that train station because just why not? I think it looks cool, adds a bit of visual interest. And then of course I needed a well skin in here somewhere because this is going to be my primary residence on Wishblossom Ranch. So we've used that one to blend in. Coming over to the right before we actually go into the town square, there is a wild Sven just lurking in the snow, very cute. And then we can come into our actual small farm area with the coops. I didn't realize that it would actually put the geese inside of the coop, so it looks as though they are ring fenced in there. So I've put 2 in each, which I actually think looks really cute. I wouldn't mind if they roamed around here, but I think they look pretty fun in the actual coops as well. So this turned out nicely. I like the little display in the middle. It will keep too many flowers from spawning in the rest of the build, so we can leave that. Head past Sven. From down here over under the nice little archway, the very regal looking one with some foliage, some flowers, some lighting, into our big town square where Cruella is lurking apparently, shouting at us. But then we've got that through thoroughfare all the way through the center over these nice little rugs to add a bit of color to the ground into our actual stables where everybody seems to be at the moment. This seems to be the place to be through the little archway. fairy godmother stood in the corner. We've got some hay, we've got some water, we've got a little pond. This scratching post, which I completely made up. I don't know if horses like that. Some flowers as well, just to break it up a little bit. And then some big hay bales in the middle, same on the other side. Coming out past Pegasus. Looking up, this is a really nice biome now because it's got a lot of height to it. So everything looks really cool, especially because it all matches with those building kits. And we've obviously got that view out the back to those crystal caverns. But on this side, we've got Scrooge's store. I've left it as the Dreamlight Valley icon because that was pretty much the one that fit best. So we've got Scrooge's with a little garden out front here. Walking past those nice little lit up trees that we've done in the center of each of those quadrants. And then over here to Remy's, which again looks just great, with its own little archway and garden out front as well. So it looks fantastic. I'm so pleased with how it came out. Let's take a look at how it looks at night. So in that evening light, we do have it coming just from over the top of this mountain out the front. You can see the sunset there. All the colors look really cute together. The train lights up. These icy trees do light up. The well has a little bit of lighting on it as well. Lovely blue, orange, not blue sky over there to the right hand side. Cruella getting in the way, bless her heart. And then some really nice lighting in here with those new Main Street lampposts. Crystal caverns at the back giving some color, and just everything looking really warm even though it's all covered in snow. Alright gang, that is it for this video and it for that decorating long play. I do hope you enjoyed building that build with me. I had a lot of fun. This might be one of my favorite builds of all time. It came together beautifully. I love how it all matches. It has a color story, it has a theme, all of those good things, including symmetry that I absolutely love. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to give it a like, maybe subscribe to the channel for more Disney Dreamlight Valley content just like this. But this has been a long old video, so I am going to leave it there for today. I will catch you in the next one, and I will, of course, see you in the valley.